and welcome to the Boopcast, episode 46. We are your hosts, SheNoob and...
Cory.
And it's very late. Sorry about that.
It's very early.
It's very late, it's very early, it's very early and it's very late, depending on who's here. So, we have with us today our very special friends, Tyson over here and Larissa below me here.
Hi. I did the same. We both did the double hand wave.
We did. We're magic.
All right, on three, everybody do the double hand. 0, 1, 2, 3.
And flip.
Oh my god, we are so gay. All right. It is Boopcast time. I am so sorry, everybody, for the absolutely stupid schedule that we have at the moment. This was a shemuzzle to put together.
Yes, it was.
Oh, Jesus frames Batman. Thank you guys so much for the resubs as well, and the sub from you, Agile Dinosaur. Really appreciate all of your support. Why can't I use the clip that button?
You have to refresh. After you've gone live, for some reason, it's not active until you refresh.
But it didn't used to do that. Ugh, whatever.
I was doing it for me, but yeah.
Okay.
It's still in beta.
Twitch is still in beta right now.
I mean, the dash is. Yeah.
Those tweet alerts are going to be pouring in all stream. Sorry about that. So, we are here to chat about Chapter 3 of RWBY Volume 7. And what a chapter it was. So much juiciness, so much gay. We're here for it. Let's go. So, we're going to do that. I will just remind everyone that if you have questions that you would like to ask during the podcast, you can tweet us at the Boopcast and use hashtag Boopcast, and your tweets will appear on stream and we'll answer those for you. Now, before we start, we better start with our esteemed returning guests for the third year and the fourth year in a row, respectively. Larissa, were you on season 1 of the Boopcast? I think you were, weren't you?
I think so.
Volume 4?
Volume 4?
She was in Menagerie. That was the first time we met.
Menagerie, yeah. God, that
we had
chapter
only
was,
met very briefly on Twitter, and
short.
I think it was a bit awkward, but...
Yeah. You were on the shortest chapter of Volume 4.
Yes.
Yeah, and Tyson, this is your third time being on. You've been on since Volume 5.
No, I've only ever been on
second.
1.
It's your second time. I can't keep track of it. So yeah, you've both been on before, but would you like to tell us a little bit about yourselves, how you got into RWBY, and what you do in the fandom, if anything at all? We'll start with Tyson.
No, I was going to say, Larissa, you go first, and I was like, oh, all right. Well, so I've been watching RWBY for 3 years. I didn't get on it at the start.
What's up, baby?
Yeah, I know. It's like, sort of, I was more of a Rooster Teeth fan with Achievement Hunter and that, and then got onto RWBY. Got suggested by lots of people to watch RWBY. So I came in at I think it would have been the end or the middle of or end of Volume 3. Maybe?
Yeah.
So maybe it's 4 years. Maybe it's 4 years. I came in at a great time. I'm pretty sure one of the first episodes, or like one of the first, say, 5 episodes, was the whole Pyrrha thing. So it was a great way to introduce into it. But so yeah, it was. I don't do any reaction stuff. I'm a Twitch streamer primarily, but yeah, absolutely love RWBY, and I've gotten more into it, obviously knowing you three amazing people. So yeah. Also, I got asked by Danny to wear a specific shirt today, and there's a reason for it.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
And there's something I have to say to go with it, and I know I'm going to get just tore apart from this one.
I'm scared. By this one, I'm assuming you mean me, but, go ahead.
Yeah, so basically, I thought I'd wear... That's why I'm wearing a hoodie. I'm wearing a shirt underneath.
I hope.
This...
No, you don't.
Look, anything could be possible.
Reveal!
So obviously Volume 7 set in Atlas. It's cold. Okay, I've moved to the Netherlands. It's cold.
Oh no.
So Danny wanted me to wear my Pyrrha shirt because it will keep me boiling hot and burning hot. So I'll take this off now and I'll wear my Pyrrha shirt.
Hey, I've got that one too.
Okay, tell Danny that he's a cunt and I hate him. Anyway.
He's like... So, yeah.
Moving on.
We'll just keep that at that. So yeah, that's me.
Hey,
I'm Australian.
Wade, welcome.
Netherlands.
This is so weird. We like people that aren't normally on the Boopcast are here because it's so late.
It's my fault. It's my fault. I was the hard one in this. I was the.
It is your fault, completely, 100%.
I love how you like it's late here or early here, and I'm like it's 11:15. You know, it's nearly lunchtime. I'm good.
It is Thursday. Yeah.
Yes, so, I'm actually streaming when you're awake. Yeah, I'm sorry, Wade. I haven't been streaming. I know. I'm sorry. I'm working on it.
And I'm not streaming Persona, so sorry, Wade.
Yeah. Yes, that is the shirt from the Arty box. Larissa also has that shirt. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a wonderful shirt.
It's a Grim Eclipse design.
My favorites.
Yeah, Larissa got roped into this last minute because she was like, I'm going to stream Persona, but you're streaming the Boopcast. I was like, we'll just be on the Boopcast. She was like, okay. She thought we had someone else on. I was like, nah, it's just Tyson.
Oh, it's just Tyson.
It's just Tyson.
It's okay.
Well, listen, we have a very full schedule this year. It's a bit insane, so...
It's okay to crash when I'm on.
It's just Tyson. Yeah. Hashtag, it's just Tyson. What I mean by that is that there's not two people on. Like, there is just about every other week this year, so we're very full. I'm sorry. Listen.
It's still so funny to me that when we were trying to plan out the season, you're like, we should try to, like, only have one person on each episode with, like, maybe a couple of, like, double ups. And that didn't happen.
That didn't happen. Do you know why it didn't happen, though? Because I messaged about 18 people asking them, you know, for interest, do you want to be on the Boopcast? And 17 of them said yes.
Oh,
so then I was like, shit, because I expected maybe 12 of them, maybe, because most of them were people who'd been on before, and people who've been on before tend to message me ahead of time and be like, what's happening with the Boopcast, can I be on? But yes, which some of them did, but yeah, I didn't expect so many people to be like, yes, I want to be on, and I was like, fuck, now I have to fit 17 people into 13 chapters, this is great, into 9 chapters actually. Oh, fun.
Yep.
So, yeah. But anyway, so that's the thing. Larissa, who are you?
Hi. So yeah, hi. I'm Larissa. I'm Nerdsboz. I'm a cosplayer, YouTuber, and Twitch streamer. And I got into RWBY just as Volume 3 was finishing, quite funnily enough. I just saw a little clip on Facebook of the red trailer, and I was like, what is this? This looks awesome. And after doing some research, just stumbled across RWBY, and that was it. And down the rabbit hole I went. And that was that.
That's pretty much how it goes.
Yes. So yeah, I've done RWBY cosplay, which I'm quite known for, as well as my RWBY reactions on YouTube. I've done reactions to RWBY Chippy as well. And yeah, and as well as streaming on Twitch with these guys a lot, and yeah, that's me. Hi.
Yeah. Being tortured by us a lot.
Yeah, being bullied. Just watching the Christmas over Dead by Daylight. You guys bullying me. You're so mean.
Listen, if we're not hard on you, you won't learn.
I was letting the dog out, Wade. I wasn't stealing headphones from...
Chozo, is that a Volume 7 Weiss emote? That is adorable. What?
Yeah.
I guess, is it one of Arnold's?
No, it's Raveni.
Oh.
It's Keith.
Raveni Hug.
RWBY artist who does...
Keith Montalvo.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't know he had a... Blah, blah, blah. I didn't know he streamed, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Very nice.
The
I'll have to
emotes
go
are
subscribe. Ravenite. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. I'll have to go subscribe.
Yeah.
He's
a cute lurk one as well, which is just like the top of Weiss's head.
Oh. Love that. So yeah, RWBY. Chapter 3 was a thing. Holy shit, was this a good chapter. I want to, off the bat, go ahead and say that this is one of the best chapters of the show so far.
I 100% agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely phenomenal chapter from start to finish. Really well paced, beautiful animation. Fight scene was fucking awesome. Both of them. Multiple fight scenes in this one, actually, now that I think about it. Oh my god, those emotes are freaking adorable.
Aren't they amazing?
What the heck? I need to subscribe to Keith. Oh my god.
Oh, I've seen these emotes. They're very cool.
They're so cute. It's volume 7 Wise. Oh, I love.
Yeah. It's adorable.
That is adorable. Yeah, I'm gonna go subscribe to Keith. You'll get to it probably about that song when Ruby jumped from the plane.
Yes, Touch the Sky. We
Touch
will
the
be
Sky.
referring to.
We only heard so little of it. It reminded me, like, we heard about as little of that as we heard of Indomitable, but straight away I was like, this is probably going to be my favourite track of the
I think we got more than Indomitable.
Indomitable, we got 4 lines. This one we
was
got
a bit longer.
A little bit more, yeah.
Yeah, I
But
really
it's
like.
early
I
in
just
the
like
volume,
how positive and just how it just sounded really good. I got me dancing to it, and I really can't wait to get the.
I love when Ruby does the more like upbeat songs. Like even though I also love the dark ones because I'm like, oh yes, evil. But like when the happy ones happen, especially like in the context of when it was happening, I was like, yes, you be happy, my girls,
my children, my little babies. But yeah, every time I watch the chapter, it gets stuck in my head for ages, and it's really annoying because it's like 6 lines that get stuck in my head for ages.
I'm sorry. We need more of the
I need more.
You're so.
It was such a tease. But yeah, I love that they did that there with that whole moment there. Is just amazing. Love this chapter. I like that they threw us straight into it here. No faffing about, no wasting time. We've already reiterated everything we need to. Straight into it. Let's go. First mission. Cory and I, when we watched the episode the second time, you pointed out, Cory, I think that on the screens that they were looking at in the briefing, that the 7 of them there, they said Huntsman license active.
Yeah.
So looks like they have been given Huntsman licenses, because I think it said license status active actually.
Yeah, license
even
status
if it's just
active.
temporary ones, but
no, I think they have been granted full Huntsman licenses, which is really cool because we were wondering if they were going to do that. Because it was the same as what the Aesops said and Crows said as well. So they set the scene by using flashbacks. Yeah, it was really well paced that they chose their moments to go back and reiterate the conversation between Oscar and Ruby. And stuff like that, and
the mission briefing as well as going back to forward to getting the outfits, then back to the mission briefing again.
They managed to cram a lot into 17 minutes. When I think about the fact that these 3 chapters have been consistent in length as well now. We had 18 minutes, 17 minutes, and 17 minutes again. So they managed to cram so much more into this 17 minutes than they did in the 18-minute the premiere. So by, really overlaying things really well and not showing us anything that they didn't necessarily need to show us and all of that sort of stuff. So they didn't break continuity and they showed Ruby's old look while talking to Oscar. I mean, obviously it would have been weird if she had the new character model.
And her and John
really
had the old outfits too in the mission briefing.
Yeah.
So that was before they got the their new outfits, I'd say.
Yeah. Next episode is 18 minutes as well. It is, consistently now 17 to 18 minutes, and I hope it stays like that throughout the volume. Even if there's one that's 16, 15 minutes would be good. But that's really good consistent runtime, and it feels so well rounded when you're watching the episodes. Because we're not having that feeling of week to week of is it going to be longer or shorter next week? And I prefer to have consistently the same length episodes every week than have a 29-minute episode one week and a 14-minute episode the next. It drives me crazy.
Yeah, it's a nice feeling to be able to watch that sort of length and then not feel like it's either been a drawn-out process or you feel hollow and go, I wanted more. It's just enough. It's a nice.
More.
Well, you know what?
You always want more.
Greedy, no.
Yeah, exactly. Wade, it's so much better than having a long premiere and finale and all over the place in between. Volume 6 was still a little bit of that because we did chapter 3 last volume was so long. It was the longest episode of RWBY to date. That was just a long story time, and it's such a great chapter. It's one of my favorite chapters. It's so beautiful. Even last volume episode lengths were inconsistent. Still, but this so far this year,
That's so good.
Completely consistent. It's really good. We're fans. We always want more. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of needed an intermission. Yeah. The chapter 3 of last volume. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely prefer them being consistent, and so that every week we know that we're going to get a 17 to 18 minute episode, and they're gonna, and the pacing has only gotten so much better. When I think back to volume 5 and how badly some of those chapters were paced, I'm like, that was only 2 years ago. Leaps and bounds since then.
I think it helps with the new writers as well. And
oh my gosh.
I think that will have a really big part of it as well.
That new female writer is doing a fucking phenomenal job. That was exactly what they needed. They needed a woman on the team. Definitely. Because as great a job as Miles and Carrie have been doing, I think it helps to have the perspective of a female on the writing team as well.
And someone who's outside of the RWBY crew.
Yeah, considering there are so many female characters as well in the cast. It does help to feel like that they have that sort of voice. Eddie wrote chapter 4 apparently. Oh, Eddie wrote chapter 4. Nice.
Yeah.
I think they have
the female writer was
writers
also
on the
harping
team
about
now,
it too.
don't they? It's Miles, Carrie, Eddie, and I forget her name every time.
Yeah.
Yes, there's 4 of them that are writing it now, which makes sense as to why the episodes would be more consistent, because if they have 4 people writing, they can get more writing done faster. So if they're writing more, then the episodes are going to be longer. And also, they didn't do any character shorts or shit like that this year. They just bucked down and went, we're focusing on the volume. Here's 13 chapters. This is what we're doing. So, yeah, that's definitely already clearly paying off. Kirsty, thank you. Kirsty. Yeah, I couldn't remember her name. Kirsty. I don't know. Damn, you're fast. It's Wade. He has access to everything. The last couple of chapter 3s have been top tier. Yeah, chapter 3 seems to be one that's consistently really good every volume. Mr. T. Yeah. Kirsty. Yeah. Yeah, Kirsty. Okay. Wade is the internet. Yes, he is. So we jump in. They're in the briefing. I like that it was just RWBY and Jean and then Clover and Crow in the briefing, so just the team leaders. Because it makes sense that they would, that sort of briefing, they wouldn't have, everybody in the room when it's not really necessary. And trusting the leaders of the 2 teams to sort of relay everything to their team. That felt really sort of professional, and like how they would do that, tackle that kind of briefing. It's just to have a small group of people and and give them all of the information to then relay on to their teams. You thought your Google game was strong. No, you were wrong, Magic. So there are a few things I was disappointed that we didn't see in this chapter. We didn't get our shopping montage again. And we didn't see their reactions to each other when they got the new gear. So we sort of did a little bit on the ground, but not really. I would have loved to have seen, their faces when like RWBY comes out in her new gear with a new haircut and didn't happen, unfortunately. Her name is hard to spell. I'm just calling Kay. So Kirsty, sure. Yeah, I know. However you spell it.
That's such a strange name.
It is a different name, yes. Is his name Pietro Polendina? Penny
yes.
Said? Yeah, Pietro Polendina. He mentions that he reviewed their Vital Festival combat footage. And I was like, that was 2 years ago.
But he said he was going to make some suggestions on it.
Yeah, they all fight so differently now. It's not even remotely the same style. So I'm like, it's a bit outdated, but sure. And he's saying he has some additional enhancements he'd like to suggest. And I'm like, they all fight so completely differently now because it's a different time that I'm like,
Yeah, but I mean, it is also their weapons haven't really changed since then. So, like, he could look at them and go, like, these weapon upgrades would improve based on your performance. Like, I don't have any idea what he could possibly be suggesting.
No, I don't know either.
Beyond what they've already done, yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what he does come back with.
I have a feeling we won't see it until next volume though, because they've just upgraded all their weapons. So, and like we got to see a substantial amount of the upgrades this chapter, but they're saving some things for later. We haven't seen what Blake's can do. We haven't seen what Weiss's can do. So,
or Nora's as well.
Or Nora's, yeah. Nora did get that upgrade in Volume 4 that they showed once and then never again. So, which RWBY has a terrible habit of doing. Setting up these really cool things. Yeah, time dilation. When is that coming back? You know, Weiss can do this really cool time thing and she hasn't done it for literally 5 years. But yeah, RWBY, again, when we saw RWBY's scythe upgrade, I lost my mind. But I was also thinking that, like, oh, cool, we're never going to see that again. It's just never going to show up ever again because I have a bad habit of forgetting about things. So.
That one moment, and then you'll never see it again.
That one moment was super cool, but it's never going to happen again. Or if it does, it won't be as focal.
Yeah. They're gonna just use that to explain in the future. Like, we need the blade this way, so meh.
Yeah, exactly. It is a really like practical upgrade on her side.
Yeah.
I watched it, I lost my mind. I was like, that is so clever. That like, you know, I'm like, that is so, because ordinarily, if she needed to, because the way she uses her scythe, she would swing it down and then physically have to turn it around to swing it back up. But having like a lever she can pull to just swing it around and then just pull it back up is not only so much less work for her, but it's faster. So yeah, that is a really, really practical upgrade. I loved that.
Yeah, same. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, it was so cool. I lost my freaking mind. I wasn't expecting it. Getting back on track. Them like opening up all their boxes and, you know, getting all of their new stuff and the visual cues that Rooster Teeth has gotten so much better at doing visual cues, like Jean like tucking his fringe out of his eyes and then showing Blake sort of playing with her hair in the mirror, even though I don't like how they handled her cutting her hair because it felt very just like she did it on an impulse. And just went, oh, I'm just going to cut all my hair off for no reason, you know. No, it hasn't gotten in my way until this point, but I'm just going to cut it all off now.
It didn't really show that she'd been considering it for a while. She could have been.
I'm wondering, though, if it has something to do with the fact that what happened with Adam at the end of Volume 6. Because there's a huge trope in a lot of storylines that, especially with female characters, they tend to cut their hair after a massive life event. Usually somebody they love dying.
It's a massive like physical change to make them feel not a distraction, but I get what you're saying.
It's almost like it's almost like they're trying to reinvent themselves after somebody they care about has just died a lot of the time.
I kind of did that earlier this year. I cut my hair.
Exhibit A.
Exhibit A. So I mean, I don't know. I don't really like the way that they handled that, but at the same time, I can see where they were going with it. But
it would have been nice to like see them actually make a moment of it.
Yeah. I was hoping for something a bit more exciting, like, you know, it got
everyone had their Mulan moment like in mind or something.
Yeah. But I also just don't like how it looks in Engine when it's short because it's too straight. Because being somebody with curly hair, when I cut it short, it does not go straight. It goes more curly.
Yep.
That's not curly hair does not go straight when you cut it. That doesn't happen. So I don't know why they designed it like that. I don't think it looks very good.
Yeah, I have to say, I keep looking at her hair and going, I don't know. I don't. It doesn't look
on me, but
doesn't look right.
It kind of looks probably because her hair was so long as well. It almost seems unnatural how it's like you said how it's sitting. So it's very. I find it distracting. I thought it might have just been me, but
no. It's everyone just about. Okay. I think. Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I loved it in the concept art. I thought it looked really cute. But in Engine, it's just a bit flat.
Yeah,
and it's like the bits that are hanging down at the front are so spiky. I'm like, was this cut by a 3-year-old? Like,
And
She cut it herself.
ran her hair over with a lawnmower.
yeah, clearly. Jean's, I'm getting used to slowly. It doesn't look nearly as bad in engine as it did in the concept art. See, Blake went one way and Jean went the other. Their hair will grow on us. Yeet yourself out of the chat, Shozo. That's disgraceful.
Jean's hair, I think, is the same thing for me. I just look at it, and because it is different, and I don't know,
it's still hard for me as well.
It's hard.
I just look at him and go,
especially-
it doesn't look right.
Especially when he
the
spoke
first time he
in
spoke,
the ice cave. Yeah. We both were like watching this and we were like, Jean's voice does not match his head anymore.
No,
it doesn't.
I did notice that.
It's like if you took Cardin Winchester, gave him a modern haircut, and made him blonde and put Jean's voice on him. That's what it's like. It doesn't look right.
That one line just didn't look. It's like, did you say that, or is it like from somewhere else?
Is this dubbed?
Yeah, it's like, hey guy, could you move out of the way? Jean's trying to speak.
It's like an English
person
dub.
behind him.
It's like an English dub. It reminds me of like Armin Alert's English dub from Attack on Titan. Like I hate Armin's voice in that English dub, and I'm like, oh, your voice doesn't match your head. It doesn't look right. But yeah, the first time he spoke, when he's like, I like your outfit too. I was like, who are you?
Yeah. Who
are you, and why did you eat Jean?
I've had that in
so
so many series though, so it's common occurrence, especially like if they change the look of the character, or the character looks the same and they change the voice majorly. Like I had that in Pokemon, and when the voice actor for Ash changed, and I just went, this isn't right. I can't watch this.
No,
it's driving me insane.
Animated face for him either.
We'll get used to it, but like he's got such a like quotation marks bad boy look now, and like he's got the dorkiest, whiniest fucking voice still. I'm like,
so like chipper, like
you are disconjointed. Like I don't know what you are. You're an anomaly.
It was this particular scene too. Like if we saw moody Jean or Jean being more serious, it probably wouldn't have been as bad. But this was like him trying to cheer Nora up and failing. So
it was fine before he spoke.
Was this the first thing he said after we seen the new look?
Yeah.
So it was
he'd like pouted a few times and stuff, but that was the first like real dialogue.
There was
actual
efforts
dialogue
before that, but then that was the first line of dialogue. Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Calm down.
Also, I don't like that nobody has like commented on anybody's hair being different. They're just like, except for Yang commenting on Blake's, obviously, because bees. But like nobody's commented on Jean or Weiss or Ruby. They've all got different hair. Yang's the only one who didn't change her hair because she doesn't like cutting it, obviously. But like nobody has commented on anybody's change in like.
It's almost disturbing. Like they've all gone through a massive change and they're just like
whatever. Yeah,
everything's the same.
Nora commenting on Ren's outfit, like, I like what you did with your outfit, Ren, and then he's a total dick about it for some reason.
Well, as I said in the corner, that he was focused on the mission. Ren's a very sort of like serious person. He was like in mission mode, focusing, you know.
Yeah,
and it's like.
It's the same thing when they got or they were talking about their new weapons and that, and like he's standing there so serious and really focused and wants to see what his new weapon is, and there's Nora like,
but yeah, no, I get that that's sort of like Ren's. Can you people stop messaging me? I get that that's like Ren's sort of thing, that he's like, you know, I want to stay focused, but the way he said it to her, I was like, that was a bit of a dick move.
Yeah,
it did a bit.
It did
feel dickish magic. It felt dickish, yeah.
It was like Ren amplified. It was a little bit too like,
Yeah, it was almost rude, really.
Yeah.
I think hope Ren will return Nora's compliment after the mission. I think they're trying to sow a little bit of animosity between them, bit of lovers' quarrel, perhaps. But yeah, I'm like, Ren, dude, don't be a dick. Like, come on, there's no Grim around. You're fine.
Yeah, I mean, they are like so polar opposites, though. They do sometimes kind of need to like show that like that's not always gonna work together. With like Nora being like, "Hey, happy, fun," and he's like, "We're on a mission. We need to focus, Nora."
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely, yeah. What have I got here? I like that Yang's upgrade to her arm having the gauntlet on it is actually an attachment.
Yep.
Like, it's not a permanent fixture. She like slides it on at the start. So I think it would be weird if she walked around with it on all the time. So it would look kind of funny. So I like that it's something that slides on and is just like a normal gauntlet, but it's designed to look like her arm. So
yeah.
I know. I think she did kind of design it though to be like, because the gauntlet part reacts very similarly to her Ember Celica.
Yeah.
So I think that it is more intended to be like, she technically could go back to her old one, because we saw when she walked into the room before they got their stuff, she still had the old arm.
Yeah.
But I think that it will probably only really see the new one from now on, though.
Yeah. I feel like the way that she's done it is essentially the same as her Ember Celica. It just looks like her arm, and she can take it off if she wants to. So, yeah. But if she walked around with that thing on all the time, it would look a bit strange, I think. It's just like, you know.
You good there, Tyson?
Don't mind me, it's the dog. Walks in, opens the door, walks out, walks in, opens. I'm having flashbacks. I was about to say, I'm having flashbacks of Max when I was there. I'm like, oh my god, Philo, go away. Make up your mind.
Yeah. When did Oscar's voice get so husky? Because he has a line where he's like, "Hey, Ruby," and I'm like, "You need to stop growing. Ruby. I don't like it." He's also taller. We've noticed. He's almost as tall as Ruby now, and he was quite a bit shorter, like a foot shorter than her when we first met him. And he's almost her height, and he's gonna overtake her. Tyson, you're muted still, dickhead.
Ignore me. How much time's elapsed between them meeting him the first time and now? Do we know?
Like a year, almost.
Yeah, probably somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Do people grow?
Well, probably.
Is that possible?
I don't. Well, he's gone from 14 to 15. He's probably in puberty, dude.
That explains the voice too.
Yeah.
They didn't meet Oscar till Volume 5.
That's
and I think
true.
their section of Volume 5 only took place over like 3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Volume 6 was like a month later overall.
Yeah.
So like they've only known Oscar for maybe 6 months now.
Yeah. And
Like
he's grown a
generously.
foot in that time.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
He's eating well. He's just.
He's a bloke. Yeah.
I feel like he seems more like more confident in himself as well. So that may make him a bit taller too, like he's standing more straight, or he's more confident with who he is than back when he had that discussion with Ruby. He was still really unsure about things. So
yeah, maybe.
Oscar only met Crow at the end of Volume 4, literally in the post-credits scene, but he didn't meet the rest of them until Volume 5. And at that time, he was still a foot shorter than Ruby, almost. Yeah.
Plus, also, they reiterated that scene in Volume 5 to establish where it fell in the timeline.
Yeah.
So that's why even though it was the post-credit sequence for Volume 4, I kind of consider it a Volume 5 event now because of that reason.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. 4 and 4 inches over the course of a summer break. Jesus Christ. That is a lot.
I grew like 6 inches over a summer break one time, but Jesus.
Holy shit. Oh my god.
I was going to say, you'd have some serious growing pains though.
It's so weird to me because girls don't do that. We grow more gradually over about 6 years, whereas boys are like, whoop, up we go. I'm just going to grow 2 feet in 1 year. It's like, okay.
Yeah, but see, unfortunately for me, it was height and weight. So it's sort of like, I've stayed the same shape and just gone, it's like, well, that sucks.
I mean, I haven't changed height since I was 14, so that's fun.
Yeah.
I'm not joking. I stopped growing at 14.
That's how Bailey went as well.
Yeah.
I kind of said as well.
Yeah, we say whoop when we grow too. You're welcome.
Why not?
Why not? Yeah, but his voice kind of startled me a little bit. I was like, you need to stop growing up. I don't like it.
I think that the huskiness though just kind of came with the fact that he was like trying to be like it was him trying to be like moody Oscar, and it just kind of came across as like, hey,
I'm in my
how's it going?
I don't like you doing that.
Can you hear a vacuum in the background?
No.
Here's some very small like bumping sounds, but other than that, no.
Oscar is going to be 7 feet tall at the end of the volume. He's going to get up there. He's going to overtake RWBY very soon, and Weiss, because Weiss is a bit.
Oh my god! I just thought of him reaching Yatsuhashi's height, and that freaks me out.
I don't think he's ever going to be very tall, but not Jean's level of tall. Jean's the tallest, apart from Crow. Crow's taller than him. Wait, is Crow taller than him? I think he is. A little bit.
Well, it's hard to tell because Crow's always hunched.
That's true.
Yeah, that's it.
And they don't really stand next to each other, those two, ever. So,
they're standing more upright though. In this episode,
I think Crow is taller because we saw them around the table taller, together.
Yeah, Crow has the longest legs. His legs go on for years. Like literally, if you go back and watch the Crow versus Tyrion fight in Volume 4, like the extent of the length of his legs is quite incredible. He's just got such long legs. So yeah, I think that contributes to the fact that legs for days. Yeah, exactly. He's like Weiss, where like the legs just go on forever. But Weiss's legs are hidden by her new outfit, and I'm mad about it.
I know.
It's like her best feature, apart from the hair. So
she has too much hair now, though. I'm
it's
like,
a lot of hair.
Girl, where did you just grow so much hair suddenly?
I like the style, but the bun thing on top is
it's a bit of a mess. It's a bit of a mess.
It's a lot. Like it's a lot, and there's the little like hair tiara type thing, but it's like buried in so much hair that it's just it looks odd.
Yeah,
it's like this tiny little tiara thing, and then like. Boom.
The plot itself looks really good. There are certain angles that it looks a bit strange, but it looks really good from most angles. But yeah, the bit at the top where it like before it starts plaiting is just a bunch of hair, and I'm like, that just looks really strange.
It looks like Marge Simpson style. It's just a big like. Sorry, I put that image in everyone's head.
Oh my god!
And then it's like a nice plait, but I'm like, what is going on up here? I'm not sure how I feel about them changing her fringe. I like the side part, but the little thingies that hang down at the sides are too blocky. They really should have been a bit thinner. They're too much as they are, I think. It's taken me a bit to get used to the new fringe, but now I'm like, yeah, it looks good, but it just didn't look like her to begin with, so it threw me off. Yeah,
that's the thing with all of them is I'm just like, I just need time to get used to them. I
need time to get used to it. Yeah.
I have like all the opinions I have on it. I'm like, but all of this, like by the time we get to episode 6 or 7, I won't care anymore. Like,
Weiss is fringe. Wade.
I was just reading Wade's comment about vacuo. They'd be the complete opposite.
Yeah. That's what Wade just said.
Bikinis or something, you know.
Wait until we get to vacuo and they all have to be in crop tops. Yeah.
RWBY just ditches the sleeves.
I look forward to it. Yeah, RWBY just sleeves, nothing else.
It just makes me think of her in her prom dress, though.
She looked really cute, but yeah, no.
Yeah.
So the song, Touch the Sky. Love this song. Can't wait to hear the rest of it. This was such a tease in this scene. This entire scene was so awesome of like the reveal of like opening the airship and RWBY's cape goes out first and like they're all standing there and they look so beautiful and they're all looking at each other like, yeah, we look good. Let's go. Let's jump out of the fucking plane. But their landing strategies, I love that they did this sort of thing here with like such a big callback to Volume 1. Because we haven't really seen them do this since Volume 1, not as a big group jumping out of planes. And like seeing how differently they all approach it now. RWBY's just like doing the typical,
pogo sticking down.
Gravity-defying pogo stick.
You know, the funny thing, when Danny and I watched it together, the first thing he goes is like, why can't he be like Yang? She used one shot. She's like wasting ammo. I'm like, what are you even thinking about this at this
I mean...
I saw one person's explanation for that was when we later in the episode see on Blake's scroll everybody's aura levels that Weiss and Yang are both missing some of their
a little
aura.
tiny bit, yeah,
and
they are.
And people are like, well, Weiss's is because she was using so many glyphs and stuff on her way down, like that takes a little bit of aura. And Yang's is probably just because like she only fired one shot. She probably still took like
her velocity would have been a lot higher than the other ones because she like just fell until the very last second and then probably activated her aura to absorb damage. So,
but then I have to admit, I'd be really disappointed if RWBY didn't go down, like jumped out the way she did. Like it's so RWBY to the point like.
Just use my semblance. Out we go. But I also feel like with Ruby's weapon, because she stands on the blade to do that. If she just fell for too long, she would generate too much velocity, and if she then backfired that blade into her feet, she'd slice them off, basically.
Well, I know she's standing on this little platform that is like a little black platform.
The blade's right there.
I mean, the blade is right
there.
Yeah.
Like, I have a feeling,
has a spot for her to stand.
Because she started doing that like way higher up than anyone else did. Because I think she's very conscious of the fact that if she gains too much velocity, Crescent Rose will just cut her in half. If she's not careful. So, I mean, look at the way it cuts Grim in half when she backfires it and then uses the blade. It just goes straight through them. So, she has thick-soled shoes. Yeah, she want to hope she has some motherfucking steel caps. They are steel capped, aren't they? Her boots.
I was about to say they are steel capped.
Yeah, they are steel capped. Yeah, definitely. So,
a couple of inch thick soles.
But yeah, Weiss was Weiss's was a bit unnecessary, a bit of a flex, but
yes, but it was like, awesome.
Let me just summon this giant sword for me to slide down for absolutely no reason other than that I can. Blake's, typical Blake. I loved her like silhouette as she was falling. Like that cat suit was made for that girl. Obviously it was, but like it just looks so good on her. I think she looks the best out of any of them in Engine, except for her hair. Her hair's atrocious, but her and RWBY actually I think look the best.
I'm very partial to Ruby's. I love her new hair and everything.
Ruby's new hair is everything. Her outfit looks so good. I love the booty shorts. They're so cute. The skirt is so cute. Everything, it looks so good. The only thing I can't get behind is that she's too adorable and her outfit's too edgy.
Yeah.
Especially that bit.
Like, lovey-dovey over Harriet semblance. Your
semblance is just like mine! And she's being so cute. I'm like, your look is too grown up for you. You are not at the same level that your look is at. But yeah, no, they look awesome. All four of them look amazing. Yeah, it's just those little sort of nitpicky things, which there always are with the new designs, I think.
I love Yang's design. I like Yang's new outfit. I think it really
I like Yang's. Yang's is really like bomber pilot, sort of engineer-ish looking.
It suits her.
I love her bomber jacket. The only thing I was annoyed with it about is that it's really fixed to like her ribs and then it's free form. It should be a lot higher free form, but that does make it harder to animate, so I do understand why they did it that way. And with her sleeves, she has them rolled up for combat because it's too cumbersome to animate them down when she's in combat, which makes sense. So,
well, she does it at the right before they jump out. You see her roll up the sleeves on both sides, which I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah, that's a little.
I look forward to seeing her walking around with them down, though. Because I really loved the concept art of her with the long bomber jacket sleeves and like how baggy they are. I don't understand why anybody has any skin out at all, especially when RWBY comments on how freezing it is there.
Well, I wanted to talk about that because Weiss's comment there says that without heat or projected aura, you'll freeze to death in a matter of hours. And I'm like, what does she mean by projected aura? Is this like a device that like projects aura?
I think she's
or is she talking about like them focusing and projecting their own
I think
aura?
Individually
I think what she means by projected aura is that like in Volume 1 when Pyrrha unlocked Jean's aura, I think that's what she means by projected aura. Because not everybody knows how to do that. So The average Joe doesn't know how to project their aura, but Hunter taught how to.
If that's the case, though, why was RWBY cold?
Well, I mean,
I think
they'd
she was
still
just
feel
commenting
it.
that it
It
was
just
cold.
wouldn't kill them.
She probably just forgot to do it.
I mean, they would still feel it for sure if it's that cold that it will kill you in a few hours. But
yeah,
yeah.
I think she'll be feeling it.
Yeah.
I mean, she isn't exactly completely covered up, so
No.
you know.
I mean, none of them are.
No. Why?
Like Yang literally has that one leg window where I'm just like, just zip it up.
Yeah.
All of their zippers, I'm just like, just zip it up.
With Yang, though, I kind of get it because I feel like she's probably more hot-blooded than the rest of them. So, you know, it makes a bit of sense with Yang. And with Weiss, I'm like, yeah, she's probably used to this kind of weather. So,
yeah.
You know, she's just wearing a dress and her entire legs are just out. So, you know, like, just out in the weather. I'm like, okay, you do you, Weiss. I like to imagine that she has some skin-coloured, like, tights on or something.
Does that make you feel better about it?
It does, because it makes me feel cold fucking looking at it.
Ruby's always wearing bloody stockings.
Yeah, Ruby and her stockings. Yeah, but I mean, at least her legs are covered. That's one thing. But yeah, the sheer, as much as I love the sheer chest, I'm like, that is not going to keep shit out as far as the cold is concerned.
Oh, gosh, no. Yeah.
Yang is charging her semblance by getting injured by the cold. Probably not wrong. New song. Ruby's. What? Why have I put that there? All right, never mind. I'm just going to ignore my own notes here. Yeah, so Team RWBY, and then we had Team Junior landing. This was really cool. They showed off Jean's shield pretty quickly, so he's had dust upgrades to his shield, which is a really clever idea. So sort of like expanding it with hard light dust, and then having the gravity dust in the shield itself to sort of, you know, that's a really clever idea. It makes a lot of sense to put gravity dust into a shield.
I just love the way he gently floats down, like when it deploys it,
Yes.
floats down. But then when he hits the ground, it's like, ugh.
Yeah, when he hits the ground, it's poof! It's such a meaty sound, yeah.
He did turn into Link.
Yeah, he did. Literally turned into Link, yeah.
Yes.
I like, though, that the gravity dust, his symbol on the shield lights up, and the sort of light effect just goes out in a couple of waves, like his symbol. It looks really cool. You only see it for like a couple frames, but it looks really good.
Yeah. Well, he does it later in the episode as well, and I think that's really. I'm like, oh, that was when I was like, oh, this is a really smart dust upgrade because it literally is like, basically pushes them off the shields. Like,
Reach, thank you for the resub. Thank you.
It's so smart to, you know, if he was engaging with a Grim that wouldn't leave him alone, to be able to be like, get off, dust.
Yeah, exactly. It's really smart. I'm not sure exactly how he's operating it. I feel like there might be a control panel on the back of his shield or some shit. But I'm not really sure how it operates, but I'm going to ignore that because I don't want to spoil the illusion for myself.
Yeah, there are some things where, like I talked about, like with their new scroll
I don't want to
upgrades.
picture what Chozo just said.
Oh god.
Ew.
Lighter down, hanging onto a chicken.
Oh god. But like with the new scrolls where I'm like, well, these are like supposed to be like smaller and convenient to look at, but I'm like, but where are the girls keeping these? Like they're supposed to be like monitoring their vitals and their friends' vitals, but like they don't just like stick to their finger so they can be like, like what are they keeping these?
Yeah, you mentioned you'd like it if it was more of an interface. I think a wristband would be better, like a wristband that you press a button and then it like pops up this, you know, interface that's holographic.
Yeah.
Makes me think of like Omni tools from Mass Effect.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say like an Apple Watch, and you just press.
Kind of, yeah. But the new scrolls are obviously supposed to represent Switch controllers.
Oh yeah, it looks exactly like a Joy-Con.
Obviously. But, like, I do really like them. I think they're super cool looking. And, like, I like the holographic interface rather than... Because I thought for the longest time that the original Scrolls did have a holographic screen, and then Adam stepped on one and cracked the apparently glass screen. And I'm like, how do these work? I don't understand these. Like, does the glass fold? Like, I don't get it. But yeah, that didn't make any sense.
No.
But I much prefer these new ones. They look really good. So
yeah, they do. I hope we see them all too. Not just once and never again.
Yeah, I hope we see them a bit more. Yeah. With Jean's shield, I like that he had it on his arm plate, and then like it sort of like, turned up. Gauntlet, that's the one. Thank you. And it sort of turned up and then expanded. I was like, yeah, that's really cool. I like all of this magnetic shit that's going on. It looks really good.
Yeah. Reading all the concept art that pops up during the end credits, they really go with the magnetic stuff, like magnets. Yeah. We like
magnets everywhere.
Well, it makes sense with how they attach their weapons to the back or their armor. So yeah.
I mean, what do cosplayers do when like we have to attach shit? Magnets. That's literally like
duct tape,
magnets,
Velcro,
duct tape, Velcro,
super
glue. And it's
I haven't used magnets yet.
Well, I used a lot of magnets for my Coraline cosplay because shit would not stay on. So
I've used Velcro.
Magnets everywhere.
Velcro's been my savior.
Yeah. Yeah, when you have pieces that you sort of have to detach, magnets are usually better. Hold up your two pieces of the scroll next to each other and they form the glass between them with dust. Yeah, so that was really good to see that. And then after that, we get a little glimpse at I like to call them the dreamy team, Crow and Clover.
The dream team.
The dreamy team. Because they're the dream team and they're dreamy, So I like that they put these two together here. We all knew it was going to happen. But
yes.
We, literally predicted everything that was going on with those two, but still was freaking out over it. And, this is amazing. I love this. I ship this so hard.
I will never get over the moment I told you where I was like, what if Clover has a good luck semblance after we watched episode 1? And I just watched, you had just seen your new child born. You were like,
I hadn't thought about it until you mentioned it. And I was like, I need this in my life.
Yes. And I love Crow's outfit. It's amazing.
Yes. I was unsure of it from the intro, but now that we actually get to see it up close, I'm like, yes.
I love the detail in the sleeves and the colours.
What I like about it is I like the mixture of colours. I like that it is edgy and feminine at the same time.
Yep. Yeah.
Like with the flower designs with his symbol on them, and I like that it is so. It projects a real masculinity, but it's also soft and feminine, and it also gives him massive bottom energy. It does, and I'm like, he is radiating the bi out of him, and I'm here for it.
Yep.
The bi sub energy.
Oh God.
What did I lie? So volume 7, chapter 3 is rated G for gay. Yeah, it is. It's super intricate up close. It's very Halloweenish. Yeah. It is. One hug from Jimmy was all it took. I know. I hope they're not queer baiting the shit out of us. I don't think that they are.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I'm just really hoping that Crow is bi, because he has radiated bi energy since the beginning. Even when I saw him at the start, I was like, my gaydar was going
whenever you have a character in media that's whenever they have a character that's a womanizer and kind of a slut, I'm always like, they're bi.
Oh yeah.
I'm just like that's just because the problem is that's the trope that they do with women when they're bi. So, but when men do it, it's supposed to be, but they're just a ladies' man. But I'm like, but you can apply the same trope to men in this case, and where did Larissa?
Hello. Everyone has now seen you are wearing pajamas on the bottom. So.
I did see that. I was gonna point it out, nah, leave it. Of course, Kaylee points
I
it
couldn't find my jeans and I wanted something comfy on. Yeah. I need to buy track pants.
You spoiled the illusion.
Oh, yeah.
Clip it!
Fun.
I'm gonna mark
Wrap
it.
bag.
Hey, Maxie. Yeah, he's a dom for the ladies, but a sub for the boys.
Don't clip it now.
It's already clipped
Wow.
it. Too late.
I just also really like on his new outfit, like all the vines and stuff.
Yeah.
Like people are pointing out that like the vines on Oz's cane, but I was really when I saw it, I thought more of all of the like intricacies on Raven's outfit and more, of like kind of keeping to the Bronwyn aesthetic, even though he's like wearing something that it does not look like bandity or tribally at all.
Yeah. It's very metrosexual. There's no other way I can describe it, really. But yeah, I lost my train of thought there. I like that they gave him a new outfit finally, because he's had the same thread since fucking Volume 3, and it was about time. As much as I like the old outfit, I'm leaning towards I like this one better.
Yeah, I really like this one better.
Yeah.
You've only got out now. You just came in.
No, Max.
It is a thing I hate that a lot of things do. Like like I'm thinking of like in the latest Fire Emblem game, like when your kids get older, they change outfits, but like all the adult characters stay in the same outfits, and I'm like, why does it have to be that like, oh, they're grown-ups now, so they look different? Like, why can't the grown-ups, because time has passed, why can't they be like, I wanted a new look?
I'm glad that they gave him a new look, because I'm like, it's about time. Bitch has been wearing the same thing since he went to Beacon. It's about time he got something different. But yeah, I like that not only did they give him a new look this year, but they're also delving into a romantic storyline for him. Because I'm like, just because he's older doesn't mean we don't want to see him get it on with somebody, because we do. Like, we definitely do. Are you kidding me? Everyone's had a crush on Crow since he came into the show. Poor choice of words, but we'll go with it. People change their look, sure, but I feel the older you are, the less often you switch your look. Yeah, maybe, but like, it was starting to feel a bit like, because the kids had one costume change since, Crow had appeared in the show the first time. And he kept his outfit all the way through volumes 4, 5, and 6. And now, if they'd had another costume change and he didn't get one, it would have been bullshit.
I think it would have also been really weird. Like everyone else has had such a dramatic change, and he's just nothing.
And he's just the same. And it was the perfect time for them to do it too, because he has changed voice actors, and it does feel like a new Crow. And not only because he's changed voice actors and he's got a new look, but him as a character, he feels a lot more grounded. He feels like he's in a much better place than he was last volume. So hopefully that lasts. We'll see if it lasts, but we just want to see him happy. Yes.
Yeah.
Plus, the other thing is with how much white he was wearing before. Like, they're in Atlas now. There's a lot of snow. Let's make him stand out a bit. Even though all the Aesops are wearing white.
Go off.
Yeah. This is very military, their outfits, though.
Yeah, I love that his isn't. It's very smart and it's very tailored, but it's not military.
Yep.
It's got its own personal flair to it. He's got the same fucking dirty ass cape that he's always had, though. He didn't change his cape.
It could be a new one. RWBY got a new cape.
No, it's still got holes in it. So it's still got the same holes in it. He kept the same cape.
Sentimental attachment.
Yeah. RWBY has needed a new one. Hers was,
Yeah. At least now I don't have to rip the bottom of it anymore.
Yeah. Yay.
Yay.
Less loner.
Still plan on making a new one anyway.
I'm loving Crow this volume so far. I haven't seen him take a single drink yet this whole volume, so keep it up, Crow. Just don't fall off the wagon, please. Hopefully his new boyfriend will help you that.
I hope they show us a scene of him like in Mantle looking for information, going to a bar, and then like having that moment of like temptation, and showing and maybe even showing him like drinking, and showing that it's like not an easy thing to just like, because he did kind of just like have a couple conversations with Ruby, and then he's like, I'm done drinking, and it's like, well, that's not really how addiction works. I mean, maybe sometimes, but
I think the start of that though was the apathy that sort of made him woke him up to it a bit. That like he got so pissed he didn't even realize what was going on around him. And they almost died because he didn't wake them up. Like they just would have never woken up if Ruby hadn't have woken up when she did. Why are you going red? Don't tell me I'm dropping frames. I've dropped a few frames. It's fine.
Magic. Don't tempt.
No, Penny cosplay. Okay, the two things I can see about that Penny outfit: the hair and the dress. Holy fuck, what a pain!
I know the hair's gonna be difficult if I was to do it.
Holy shit, that hair. He never drank in the first place. You see me with the drink. No, but he was obviously very drunk.
That's also to get away with keeping their ratings below PG-13, probably. Because, you have to keep it all implied. Otherwise,
although he did have a glass in that tavern in Volume 5 when that chick was hitting
also in his like very first scene in Volume 3, he was drinking out of a clear glass.
Yeah.
But he's mostly just had his flask or a bottle since then. But yeah, I hope he keeps it up, and hopefully his new boyfriend will help him with that. So, Clover's fun. Someone he might finally be able to get close to him without being afraid that a semblance is gonna get them hurt or killed.
I know. I've been waiting for someone to come along with a good luck semblance, and I truly never thought Rooster Teeth would make that a male.
I wonder how long
I just want them to love each other, even if it's platonically. I'm just like, just love each other.
I wonder
You're
how long
so good for each other.
Has been the plan for. I wonder how long they've been intending to do this. So, Volume 4 before he meets Raven. Yeah, that's the one that I was talking about. Oh, that was 4. Sorry, not 5. Yeah, Volume 4. But yeah, it's interesting that their semblances don't so much cancel each other out in that Crow's bad luck is still there, but Clover's good luck is also there. So some shitty things happen, but then some good things will happen as well, and it will sort of balance. It not so much cancel each other out as balance each other out. It's more of a balance,
which I like too, because it doesn't get rid of it. It's just balances.
So I've gotten way off track here.
And while we're kind of on that subject, though, have you seen the 700 different ship names for them?
Oh my god, there's so many. There's Bad Luck Charms, there's Lucky Charms, there's Crover, there's
Mixed Fortunes. I see that one a lot.
Mixed Fortunes. There's oh god, what's the one on Tumblr? There's a really prevalent one on Tumblr. I can't remember now.
What is that? I know what you're talking about.
I'm gonna look it up now because it's gonna drive me crazy if I don't. There's one that's really prevalent on Tumblr. I am still partial to Bad Luck Charms. I like that one.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Mixed Fortune's my favorite. Chozo says,
Yeah, I'm not fond of any of the other ones. Let me search Ruby Crow.
I'm
gonna see so much.
I saw a funny one about calling them Lucky Charms because then they could say, well, he's magically delicious.
It's Fair Game. Fair Game is the one on Tumblr.
Fair Game.
Yeah. Oh, Fair Game. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the prevalent one on Tumblr. Mixed Fortunes. Yeah, no, I like Bad Luck Charms. I think that's clever. But yeah, no. Either way, I just really want them to just be a thing. I just want it to happen. I want Crow to be happy.
Yeah.
He's so miserable all the time.
I'm just so worried for when he meets up with Robin finally, because I'm like, every time he's been in a scene with Winter, people have been like, oh my god, I ship it. And then that Iron Crow hug, and people are like, oh my god, I ship it. And now him and Clover, and people are like, oh my god, I ship it. Like, what happens when we get to Robin?
I know, he's got two.
He's getting so laid.
He's gone from having just like Winter, and Iron Crow has always been a ship, but it hasn't really been there as much. But like Winter and Ironwood are two people that Crow didn't get along with. That he was being shipped with, and like they haven't interacted for the last 3 years of the show. So now he's gone from, for the last 3 years, having no shipping potential to having 4 possible suitors all at once. And I'm like, come on, it's too much. I don't ship Snowbird at all. I think it's weird because she's like so much younger than him. It's a bit gross.
Well, Clover could be much younger than him too.
Clover's definitely not much younger than him. He might be a bit, I think he's a bit younger, but I think maybe like 10 years younger at tops.
But, like,
harem.
I mean, really, he's starting his own harem. But like, I think Clover is older because they've given him like under eye bags kind of, and like we only ever see like non-perfect faces on the like older characters.
I mean, honestly, it's RWBY. It's impossible to tell how old anybody is. They all look the fucking same. So, Snowbird makes a little more sense right now because the VAs are literally dating IRL. I don't like this trope of like, oh, the voice actors are dating. That means their characters have to. No, it's dumb. Lindsay voices RWBY and Michael voices Sun, but you don't fucking see them getting together, do you? It's stupid. I hate it.
Yeah.
I think
it's funny coincidence now because like Crow's new voice actor is started voicing a character that they were already shipped together with, so I think that's kind of funny. But like I've never understood like people who ship characters who hate each other together. I kind of get it, but I just never like, I don't know, I've always seen Winter as too young for Crow. Because, like, she's only maybe 5 years older than Weiss. Like, maybe.
So. About that.
Yeah.
Like, just because she's an adult doesn't mean, like, she's in her 20s and he's in his 40s.
It's
probably.
Gross. It's kind of gross. It's, like, 20 to 25 years difference. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Not good. But also, like, they just don't have that kind of chemistry with each other. So... Who says you don't see them getting together? Because they're not. They're RWBY and Sun. RWBY and Sun are the furthest from getting together you can possibly be. We still need to know what Crow and Winter's history is. Yeah, that's something that we haven't really... What's a gay panic? Also, heyo. Well, to Duff, stick around because we're talking about that right now. I love the amount of memes that have gone around of like Crow staring at Clover after he's like, my semblance is good fortune, lucky you, and he's like, and just like the amount of memes that have been like gay panic.
I really wanted to. I saw that thing that Rooster Teeth posted with the like, you know, with the Clover catching Crow thing. Like I wanted to turn that into "you can't catch me" gay thoughts, and then you know, Clover grabbing him.
No, Crow's definitely in his 40s because at this point Yang and the rest are 20, almost 21. So their parents went to Beacon together. They were 21 when they graduated. So they had RWBY and Yang sometime after that. So they would all have to be in their 40s. They couldn't be any younger than that. It's not physically possible. So hey, the other two. Read the times. Hi. Larissa, Tyson. Introduction's done. I just pointed at Cory when I said Tyson. Listen, he's over there somewhere. I don't know.
That one. I'll point.
Yeah, that one.
Easier.
It's so weird because you're all in a different place on my main screen than you are on the actual stream screen. So I'm like, I don't know where the fuck anyone is. Cory's just pointing at the bottom of the screen. Tyson's below him over here. I mean, bad luck charms. That's the thing. It better actually be a thing. I'll be mad if it's not.
I mean, listen, I'm not gonna get my hopes up too much, but like, I don't know. At the same time, I'm like, with the animators also talking about how like weirdly gay the moment was and stuff. I'm like, ooh, now I'm getting nervous for like if it is queer baity at all. I don't think so because Rooster Teeth is very aware of the subtext that they are delivering with their show. Even with Bumblebee, like, so that's why I'm like, I think like I'm holding on to a little bit of hope, but at the same time I'm like, I've been burned too many times by companies before. I'm scared.
I mean, when they see the response, you think that they might go, oh crap, maybe we actually do have something here. and this is the response from the fans. Maybe we should take this on board.
Yeah.
Okay, we know for a fact that they were 21 when they graduated because they start at 17 and they graduate at 21. So after that, they had kids who are now in their 20s. Therefore, they are in their 40s. Stop overthinking it. Clover is not mid-20s, how dare you, because the rest of Aesop's is definitely in their 20s.
Yeah.
They're not teenagers.
I'd say Clover's probably 30s.
And Clover seems a lot older than them. So,
yeah,
he's at least like 28, 29.
Yeah.
At least.
Oh, no, it's enough. We're liking it.
Plus, also, he talked about, like, isn't there, like, there's some history between Clover and Ironwood, isn't there? Wasn't there a line about that in episode 2 about him knowing or, like, having history with Ironwood, or am I just pulling that out of nowhere?
No, you're pulling that out of nowhere. He mentions that he told Aesop's about the relics and all of that sort of stuff, but I don't think he mentions anything personally about Clover.
No, he doesn't.
Well, I meant Clover about Ironwood.
No,
Clover in this chapter said he trusts Ironwood with his life, but it's more an offhand comment. No, people do like it to Duff. Well, most people do.
The majority of the fandom like it,
The other ones that don't like it, we ignore those ones. No, well, it's you when you say yaoi, I think hentai. So
I know, I do too.
I'm thinking more a healthy gay relationship than yaoi. Crow was quite skilled for his age. Yeah, but he wasn't fucking 10 when he graduated Beacon. Anyway, this is a pointless argument.
They also have stated before that, like, it's very hard for them to show age on characters in the shows. Yeah. It's honestly something that I feel like they would rather just not address. Yeah. They would just be like grown-ups and not grown-ups kind of a thing. Like
Crow's got a little bit of white in his hair and whatnot, but that sort of to me makes him feel like he's older, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's dirty to Duff. Raven, honestly, like, Raven looks like... Bye, Agile. Raven looks like she could be Yang's older sister rather than her mother. But that's just because they suck at showing age, so...
Yeah. Well, but even, I mean, like, when they showed her in Volume 2, she looked like her sister, and I even remember people who, like, said it was like, no, that's not her mom, it's her secret sister, and it's like,
no.
It's definitely but like, in Volumes 4 and 5, they gave her under eye bags and crow's feet and stuff to, like, make her look older.
It's like that's why it's like Artie was Blake's sister in the intro, Volume 4.
Yeah. Again, it's about that struggle of them being able to show how old characters are. Now, Crow's hair isn't grey because he's old. It's just his hair colour.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like it gives him a bit more of an older look.
It does make him look older, which is deliberate. But yeah, it's just his hair colour. Could give her those features in Volume 4 and beyond because of Maya. Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
Exactly. They try, but yeah, it's too difficult for them to show any kind of age.
Jose.
You keep telling yourself that, Jose.
I'm just
you silverhead beauty.
Love you, Jose.
So back to the point. Well, where we were. I like Hare's offhanded comment to Maro about, like, well, the rest of us will babysit you, bitch. His comment felt weird to me because Yang was just, like, complimenting Blake on her hair, and he's like, ugh, I didn't sign up to be a babysitter. I'm like, okay, literally they're 20, so shut up.
I just think they feel young, but yeah.
Oh, God.
Plus, also, we find out from those little, like, cards that Rooster Teeth put up on, or the RWBY Twitter put up, that, like, Maro's the youngest, or he's the newest recruit to the Aesop, so most likely the youngest. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like, he's probably not, like, significantly older than they are.
No.
Wait, Yang, Weiss, and Blake are 20, Ruby's 18.
Yeah.
Currently, in the timeline.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, also, just, Mara, shut up. Yang's having a gay panic moment. Do you mind?
They were 17 when the show started.
Dude, they were 17 in Volume 1 at the start. Miles and Carrie have said this multiple times on their Twitters. Go and look it up.
Yeah. It was even on one of the RWBY figurine boxes I had that confirmed that RWBY was 18.
Go look on the wiki. Their ages are listed on there.
Time has passed since
RWBY is
then.
currently 18 in the timeline. She's 15 when the show started. It's been roughly 3 years of story time. Yeah, roughly. But yeah, so the rest of the girls are all 20 currently. But I'm like, babysitter, come on, they're adults. Like, get over yourself. You're not all that in a bag of potato chips, Sparrow. Like, Jesus. I feel like he's the kind of person though that makes like offhanded comments about like, I don't. Yeah. I don't like working with other people, but like secretly...
Well, that's what he said back in chapter 2.
Yeah.
Was, working with you, I'm not happy about it when his tail's wagging.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, literally his description in that thing that he posted was, thanks to his tail, Marrow is often unable to hide his emotions and often resorts to humor as a distraction. So that was probably honestly what he was doing in that situation, was he was like, I don't want to hang out with these stupid kids. I don't want to babysit, even though he's like, look at how cute they are.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I feel like that's exactly what it is. Yeah, they definitely confirmed Ruby's age is 18. So if she's 18, the others are 20 because they're 2 years older than her. Yeah, she was 17 at the start of Volume 6, 15, 16, 17, now 18. So what was I talking about? Blake and Yang's little moment there with Blake's hair was, I love that she blushed. She's like, is it bad? I'm like, well, yeah, it's kind of bad. To be honest, you look cute though, girl. Like, it's kind of bad. It's not her fault. It's the bloody designer's fault, but
I also just love when they throw stuff in there because. It does still say chapter 2.
It still says chapter 2.
Not bad. Listen, I've been busy.
But I love them doing stuff like this because, like, all the, like, anti-Bumblebee shippers, they, like, point to, like, earlier things as, like, evidence of, like, well, Blake blushed at Sun, so she can't be into Yang, and now it's like, oh, well, now she blushed at Yang. What do you have to say to that, huh? Like...
Maybe it's just girls being pals. Don't you know that? It's just gals being pals. Because nobody fucking understands how bisexuality works! We like a both. I like the men. I like the women. It's all the same, okay? It's not rocket fucking science. Christ. Oh, I'm so sick of
calm down, Cory.
But she was into Sun. She can't be into Yang. Do you even know what a bisexual is? We like both, okay? It's not that hard.
Yeah, but then they'll just be like, they're just pandering. I mean,
exactly.
Of course.
They can't win. They're damned if they do and damned if they don't.
They could be pan, who knows?
I think, controversial opinion, I think if you're not LGBT, you should shut the fuck up about representation. Because it doesn't apply to you. I don't care what your opinion is about the rep, okay?
I loved Unicorn of War's tweet about people talking about, like, how there's too many gay characters in the show when, like, and then proceeds to list, like, literally
all
it's like 3 or 4 tweets long of just listing, like, main and secondary characters, not even just like the little side characters, like secondary characters who are like straight, and it's like it outweighs the like 4 or 5 that we have right now confirmed.
Well, even semi-confirmed, but like there's Yang and Blake, it's obviously what they're setting up there. Saffron and Tara, thank you. Obviously. And then possibly Cory being bi as well. So I'm like, that's 5 people.
And maybe then you got like Scarlet and
and Ilya.
Yeah. And Coco.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Maybe
possibly
Emerald.
Velvet too.
I kind of get those vibes from Emerald a little bit. But
I really get those vibes from Emerald as well.
I don't know how relevant it would be to Emerald though. So I don't think she's going to get much time for romance in her side of the story, but
Yeah.
that's
Also,
7 people
Emerald
out of
kinda
how
goes back and
many?
forth.
So, yeah. Though the other characters are straight or assumed straight with no evidence. I mean, with some of them there's evidence. But a lot of them all characters are assumed straight until we're shown otherwise. So
all people are.
We live in a heteronormative society.
And Scarlet.
Scarlet, yeah, Scarlet's the only other confirmed one.
Did I not say Scarlet?
In Wade's comment there.
Ilya, Coco, Yang, Blake, Saffron, Terra, and Scarlet are all the confirmed ones. So 7 characters out of, 100?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Shut up.
And half of that was in content outside of RWBY.
Yeah, people are like, 10% of all people on the planet are LGBT, and there's more than 10% LGBT characters in RWBY. I'm like, no, there isn't. There's like 4%. No. And also, 10% of all people on the planet are out as LGBT. Think about that.
Yep.
Anywho. We're everywhere, we just don't know.
Moving along.
We knew this would happen for this episode, especially with stirring up in the fandom.
With all 4 of us on here, it was always going to turn into an LGBT debate.
Did you see what happened on Arnold's stream earlier?
I did.
Yeah, I seen that.
I don't want to talk about it too much, just because I don't want to give the trolls the time of day, but fuck those cunts.
Just some comments were made, and it wasn't nice. Yeah,
that's just disgusting, and it's homophobic, and I don't have time for it. It's just gross. Like,
he handled it really well, though.
Yeah,
so
he did handle it very well. The fact that it happened on Arnold's stream, who is such a nice, loving, caring person, the way he handled it, I commend him for. But like the fact that it happened on his stream just makes me really angry, because he is such a beacon for positivity in the fandom, and he doesn't deserve to have to put up with that shit, and neither does the LGBT community. So we get enough of that from literally everywhere else. Thank you very much.
David mentioned it happened in the Vitalcast as well when they were talking about the episode. So
it's disgusting.
Didn't happen with us, but
Yeah, Yang and Blake aren't even technically confirmed. No, they will be by the end of the volume. But
so if
we
you
can
take
see
them out,
we can see what they're setting up with them there. So Mars confirmed.
Although people have been, I'm just gonna say, people have been seeing Blake and Yang coming for years now.
Oh yeah,
and people said, "No, you're crazy. No, you're crazy."
Yeah.
But, like, I wasn't the kind of person that saw it really coming until Volume 6 started up and they started throwing it in our faces a bit more. But then when I look back on previous volumes, I'm like, it's not like it's come out of nowhere. It's always been there.
Yeah,
it was just...
now you see why I've shipped it since Volume 2.
You've always shipped it, and I've always been like, shut up. But then when Volume 6 rolled around, I was like, oh, okay, this is a thing that's happening.
Yes.
All right, cool. All right, let's get on board with this. But, also had a lot to do with myself, and I've only actually technically been out for a year myself, so...
same.
Blake Yang have 6 to 7 volumes of subtle build-up, as long as you aren't watching the show with a blindfold. Exactly! And, like, people are like, oh, suddenly they're gay. I'm like, no, not suddenly at all. Go back and watch the entire show.
Also...
people just miss hints like that.
Yeah. Plus, also, to go off of what the one SheNoob was saying, is like, I don't think we should set like 10% as like the hard limit of like of representation in shows for like LGBT stuff, because like LGBT people like hang out with each other.
Yeah, this is the
like
thing.
They gravitate towards each other, so like having like, it is almost unrealistic in a lot of shows where they like, it's the gay character, where it's like gay people hang out with other gay people. Like, that's what happens.
Yeah, exactly.
That's kind of what we're doing now.
I think No!
Wait, we're gay? What?
And my good Christian stream.
I think with any story writing of any description, not just RWBY, obviously, I think that if it makes sense from a story standpoint and it's well constructed and it's not just, it comes together in a natural way, it works. There shouldn't be caps on this kind of stuff. It's just part of everyday life.
And this, going off of what Cory said as well, like, I came out June of last year, and since then I've met so many more LGBT people in the community. Didn't really know anyone who was before then. Larissa and I came out at the same time. And then, like, Cory, obviously, always knew about him, but then Tyson, you came out after us, shortly after us as well. And then also, now that I've met my girlfriend Heather, she has so many LGBT friends because she was out all through university and she made so many friends in the community. All of her friends are gay or bi. There's like 2 straight ones in a group of 14 people. So I'm like, there's so many gay people. We're just surrounded by them. And it's all about, who, like, when you are in the community yourself, you gravitate towards other people in the community. That's just how it works.
You do.
So if you have 1 or 2 gay characters in a show, it's kind of snowballs from there. So I'm the straight one. I'm outnumbered. Exactly.
I'm sorry. I'm just reading your chat and just laughing.
You mean I'm gay? My wife is going to be shocked.
And you can still have like Chris and I. You know, I still have a boyfriend. Yes. But I'm still bi.
And that doesn't make you any less valid. You are still bi whether you have a boyfriend or not.
Chris is straight, but
Chris is very straight.
I have to send you guys a video later. A YouTuber I follow, she's bi, but she recently got engaged to a man. So she released a video yesterday that was a goodbye party for her sexuality because clearly she's straight now because she's marrying a man.
Stupid. So stupid. Oh, that social timer was still on. I was like, why is my social timer popping up? Let me just fix that real quick. Also, that is a disgusting URL and I need to change it.
Yeah, why do you have that URL?
I don't know, I changed it to the new URL, but the old one is in there for some reason. Whatever. Thanks, Wade.
Bye,
Bye.
Wade.
Thanks for hanging out.
We've been talking for an hour and a half and we haven't fucking left the goddamn snow outside yet. So let's get on
we're not
with
even
this.
in the mines.
We're not even in the mines yet.
Maybe we should move on.
Too much time talking about gay people.
One thing we forgot to talk about was with Blake's weapon and the repair with the gold. Yes. We didn't talk about that at all. And I really like it. The one thing I keep seeing that annoys me is people are like, she repaired her weapon with part of Ember Celica or part of Yang's arm. And I'm like, no, Yang's arm is painted and Ember Celica still works. Like what she did there is the Japanese method of repairing things with gold called, is it kitsugi?
Kitsugi.
Something like that.
Something like that.
Kitsugi.
It's really cool.
And so like it happens to have the double meaning of also being like kind of Bumblebee, but like that's not, she didn't like use something of
Kitsugi. Thank you.
Yeah, Kintsugi. Yeah, I just looked it up.
Yeah, it's really neat how they do it with like vases. When vases are cracked or got holes in them, they touch them up with gold, and it looks really cool.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's symbolic
and it's to
of
like remember,
not glossing over the event that caused the weapon to break, but sort of it being there as a reminder, as it's part of her journey.
Literally, the explanation for what Kintsugi is that the philosophy behind the technique is to recognize the history of the object and to visibly incorporate the repair into the new piece instead of disguising it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Not glossing it over like it never happened, but acknowledging that is something that happened, that was a part of her history and a part of her personal journey, and also to help her have closure and to move forward from that as well. It was a huge astronomical life event for her. She killed Adam. Like that is somebody who's been plaguing her for her whole life. Just about, so many years at least. So to finally have that done and behind her, it would be almost wrong for her to like kind of go ahead with her life pretending like that never happened. And that's why I like the moment as well when they're in the mine and she sees the SDC stamp. And like she stares at it for so long, completely ignores what Maru's saying to her. She's still staring at it. And then she's like, oh, sorry. Yeah, of course. And then Yang also looks over and she sort of like, makes a sad face. And I'm like, they're acknowledging, they're not just glossing over that. It was a huge thing for them both, a terrible thing that they had to do, that he sort of forced them into doing. And, it's not going to not affect them going forward. So, it's not going to be something that they just forget about. Just like that.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
But also the bees.
Also,
the bees.
Obviously.
Yeah, I also like in that scene there too, where Blake sort of is looking around and sort of comes to realization of the mine that they're in, and comments about an explosion and everything. So this alluding, that didn't exactly say, that it's this mine that Ilya's parents.
Yeah, saying it without saying it. Yeah.
As soon as she said that, I was mainly like, did Ilya's parents die here?
Yeah,
and then I was waiting for them
to
I was like waiting for the confirmation, and I was like, oh, they're just not saying anything. They're okay.
Yeah. Making it obvious without, explicitly saying it. Yeah.
Well, the rest of Team RWBY don't really know much about Ilya as such, so it wouldn't really make sense for Blake to say.
It would have been awkward for her to say it, and then they would have been like, what? Like, they don't know what, so...
Weiss knew of it, of course.
Yeah.
And I really liked how she also said that she apologized for her complacency with how she was with the fairness and everything too, which was
because that's I really like that, because it's not always like, because she wasn't like perpetuating it or had any real hand in doing it, but she was like, but I was complacent. I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Like. I was still a part of the problem because I wasn't doing anything.
She was
which is
she was ignorant towards the problem. Yeah. So, but for her to say, I'm sorry, I was complacent, and and Blake to just put her hand on her shoulder and be like, that's okay, because she's come so far since Volume 1. Like, she was just racist before.
She was.
Even though I personally think that I don't know if Weiss was ever truly like. I mean, she was a little racist, but like I don't think she ever hated the Faunus. I think she hated the White Fang for what they were doing to her family, and they just happened to be Faunus. Because like she got over her like racism towards Blake in an afternoon. Like
pretty much. If she really hated the Faunus, she would not have accepted Blake at all. She she was just like, I don't care, I don't want to hear it. Look, just the next time that you have something this huge, just tell us. I don't care, just whatever. It's whatever. So
she couldn't have done much back then, but it was just the fact she was just so complacent in it, you know.
She just sort of sat back and watched it happen, and she was ignorant towards it, and that's what she feels guilty about, in that she could have been standing up for them, but she didn't understand the problem, and the only view that she had of it was the effect that it was having on her family and therefore on her. And the fact that it was making her father so furious, making her childhood difficult, that's why she resented it. So it didn't have anything to do necessarily with the Faunus themselves. It was just the effect that the White Fang was having on her life. So but she's aware of that, and she's grown so much since then, and we've seen her stick up for Blake multiple times and be like, excuse me, get your racist shit out of here, I'm gonna throw you in a dumpster.
The trash man belongs in the trash.
Exactly. It was worth it.
She has stood up for Blake quite a few times now, even like with Cordovan as well.
What's that supposed to mean?
What's that? It's really cool to actually see her sticking up for Blake. It's really cool.
Are there conversation about when are they gonna tell Ironwood the truth? I'm really anxious that they're all bugged and that he's gonna hear this conversation.
As soon as Yang said the name Jin, I was like, you absolute moron. Like that's the one secret they needed to keep, was her name, because it's the password to unlock the Relic of Knowledge, and I'm like, she said it, they're bugged. Oh fuck.
Yeah, exactly. You can't waste that last question, man. That is too important. But yeah, that whole conversation there, I feel like Ironwood's going to be sitting in his office fucking listening to that right now, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yep.
I also suspect Ironwood would probably, in a way, expect him not to tell the whole truth as well.
Yeah. Because even his comment,
he didn't ask any more questions about it either. He just accepted it.
Yeah.
Yeah, even the comment he made about Oz, like Oz told us something similar in the past about the like lamp having. I was like, that didn't feel like sincere. That felt like, sure.
Yeah,
like it kind of felt like a person being like,
Well, then again, it's like RWBY was telling the truth in that because that is what Oz told them, and then they discovered later.
She was telling a half truth because she was very careful about how she said that.
Yeah.
To make it not be a lie.
Yeah.
But not also give the information.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But she did straight up lie to his face originally about Oz and why he disappeared.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess like I can't understand where she's coming from, and Weiss and Blake sort of understood as well. So
I get it, and I agree with them that like Blake's like, you know, his heart seems to be in the right place, but that doesn't mean we should trust him. So and like I'm like, I agree with you. But this is going to blow up in your face, and you should have checked your clothes for bugs before you had this conversation. But I feel like he's going to be sitting in his... Like, he's being too nice, and I don't trust it. So I'm like, this is going to... Something's going to blow up in somebody's face here. Yeah, so that whole conversation, and then flashing back to Ruby's conversation with Oscar about, like, you know, doesn't that feel like what Osmond did to us? But it's different because they do intend on telling Ironwood the truth. They have the intention to tell the truth, whereas Oz obviously had no intention to share any of this shit with any of them.
No,
and he made that very clear that he had no intention of telling anybody the actual truth. The only reason they found out is because Oscar was like, he's hiding something, you know, like.
And that prompted RWBY to ask, of course, what is Osmond hiding?
Yeah, exactly. So it is different in that they are just wary because this is too important of a thing to just blurt out to somebody they're not sure they can trust. But it's different.
Also, somebody who's he's very paranoid and stuff, and it's like you don't want to be like this guy who's like paranoid and sad and like he has like the motivation right now. We're gonna stop Salem, and if you say actually that's pointless, you know, like who knows what he's gonna do then?
Who knows how?
Like,
exactly.
Yeah, and like it's different the other way around because you know Team RWBY and Team June, you know, all of them, especially Crow, had proven multiple times over that they were trustworthy and had like followed him through fire. Especially Crow, who's been with him for presumably a couple decades now. He couldn't even trust them with the truth. And it's like he had no intention of sharing the truth with them. And like...
You saw Crow's reaction.
Especially in Crow's situation where Crow literally has given up his whole life for him and allowed him to turn him into a freaking bird and all this sort of shit and he couldn't even tell him the truth. So it's like, it's a completely different situation in that they don't want to do to him what Oz did to them. So they're like, we will tell him the truth, but we're just not sure we can trust him yet. So
yeah, I think their current plan right now is to help him. Like they're like, we're gonna get the CCT satellite up and running, and then we're gonna tell Ironwood before he tells the world about Salem, so he can reevaluate his plan.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know, that conversation about like, you know, we need to play along before we make any decisions about how much we're going to tell him. But yeah.
Plus, also, like, I feel like that's really important coming from Weiss, because out of all of them, I feel like Weiss has the most reason to like trust Ironwood.
Yeah.
Like, she's actually had like at least a one-on-one conversation with Ironwood before.
But you forget that she overheard him yelling at Jacques at the end of Volume 4.
True.
So at the same time, she also knows that there's a side to him that is, you know, less composed.
Power hungry,
yeah. Ironwood has a failsafe in his plan in that if Atlas fails to protect the other kingdoms, it's 3 rivals and potential enemies. Yeah. Yeah, playing along before you make decisions is how you make things go wrong in a series. Yeah, I mean, it will blow up. It's just a question of how and when.
And hopefully they tell him in time before things really go down. But...
I don't think that they will. I think he's going to find out by his own means. But
yeah. Especially because with the intention of like Oscar now has the relic, and it seems pretty clear from episode 2 that he has the intention of like training with Oscar to try to get like Oz to come back. Like they're going to try to find ways to make Ozpin come back, and like who knows, maybe he doesn't like accidentally slip the relic away, and be like, hey, what's Jin? And then Jin shows up, and he's like, oh shit.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yes, I've got here Crow falling for Clover, literally. I love the dirt face that he has right at the front of the frame when he trips over. He's like, "Dah!" Yeah, it's just funny. Every scene with them, I was just like, gay. But like, yeah, no, they're really hamming that one up. We talked about Ren. We talked about Jean. We've done all of that. Blake, okay. I love the shot like where Blake, after Blake comes through the like gap in the wall, and she's like walking towards the camera. Her outfit just looks so gorgeous in that shot. She looks incredible. I love it. I love the zips down the legs. I love the like knee cap thingies that she has, and I'm like, you look so good. She looks the best.
Yeah, she does.
She suits her so well. I love the coattails. It looks so good. And now her hair isn't covering the back of her outfit either. So there's more detail on the back, and you can like see her whole
see the magnetic strip and everything.
Magnetic strip and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. So Liz, I think you mentioned that the guy scared the shit out of you there when it popped out.
It did.
Yeah.
It scared me too.
It did scare me.
It
made me jump. Tyrion at the end made me jump.
Oh,
that scared the crap out of me. Yeah.
I was expecting Tyrion, and I was still like,
Yeah, no.
I reacted to Tyrion. I reacted to Tyrion.
Yeah, I knew it was coming. I was like, and Tyrion in 3, 2. Oh God, there he is. And
it's the eyes. It was the eyes with Tyrion.
Yeah.
You're just looking at him as
Hello,
the lighting
children.
in that shot too.
Exactly. Cory and I just did the same thing. Yeah, but back to the scene at hand. Yeah. I really loved this fight choreography that was here, and like Yang like punching the they're called Sentinels, aren't they? These Grimm. I think it's Sentinels.
I believe that's the name for them. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, they mentioned it briefly in the episode, but the
Did they?
Centipede Grimm. Yeah, they do.
Right.
Hare says engaging Sentinels. Good job Tyrion wasn't wearing clown makeup. I would have shit myself, literally. Sentinels with a C, yeah. Because it's RWBY.
I was just calling him Centipede Grimm, but
Centipede.
I do remember
I really
that now.
like how when Yang punched it and it came back, it was like, ooh,
was
gross.
like green,
sort of like nods at it and it takes
stuff.
off.
Yeah, and Yang's like, that's disgusting.
That's disgusting. And Ruby sort of nods at her.
Yeah, Ruby goes, yep, that is disgusting. Let's kill it.
Yep.
Yeah. So,
I was wondering, what was the green that like does it have like acid breath or something?
I don't know if it's acid breath or if it's like blood. Because do Grimm
But the
have
Grimm
blood?
don't.
They
No,
don't have...
No, not really.
Yeah, we've seen that they like kind of have like red filling. At least they used to.
Filling.
But...
like a
It's not
donut.
a donut.
Yeah.
Tyson and I have both got donuts in the brain, clearly.
But I was like, is it acid? I was like, what was the green there?
Yeah, I don't know.
I didn't
It
even
was
think
just
of that.
gross, whatever
Maybe it
was.
is, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Light
centipedes
filling.
are poisonous, so it would make sense that they have some kind of like acid stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's why I originally thought poison, but I was like, wait, but like they've already established like kind of that purple is the color that they're using for poison in the show.
For Tyrion specifically, yeah. That's the
But,
only
like,
other really instance of poison that we've seen. So,
Well, I was just thinking, it made me think of acid because of like Dr. Merlot's Grimm and Grimm Eclipse.
Yeah.
evil Grimm monster or tasty jelly donut, you decide. Gross. Gross. Now I'm imagining eating centipedes.
Yeah.
Get me out of the rabbit hole. Move on quickly.
Crunchy.
Chris is gonna be running. What the hell?
I'm gonna gag. No. Why is my brain so imaginative? Oh god.
Okay. So to get away from that, I really loved that we got to see like Yang's weapon upgrade here with the little like remote
the little mines.
controlled explosive dart things.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was really cool.
I was like, oh, that's so cool. And I immediately knew something was up because, like, obviously, like, the sound effect was different.
Yeah.
And, like, they're very consistent about their, like, ammunition sounds in the show. So I was like, what is happening? And then she, like, pulled it back and they exploded. And I was like, oh, interesting.
That's really neat.
Really cool.
I like that this sort of fight was them to be like, right, let's test out the upgrades. Boom. This is a bit unnecessary, but let's do it anyway.
Yeah.
Especially with Yang, she's like, oh, let's try these out. Bam, 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 bam. Boom. That's cool. Like, yeah, so it was just like an opportunity for them to test out the new additions to the weapons. The shot of RWBY like turning Crescent Rose around, I just lost my mind. It was so cool.
Yeah,
and it is one. It's one of those so satisfying moments with the sound design that like it's so meaty, where it's like, and it's like making all these great sounds.
It's so fluid in how it works, though.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing awkward about it at all. It's like that's been executed so brilliantly. Like,
when she's like pulls the center of the, and Larissa and I were looking at Crescent Rose in the art before the show started, and we're like, does it look different? It looks different. Yeah. Something's different about it. And like, she can like pull the entire, body of it down to flip the scythe around, and then like pulls it up and then walks with it and flips it back around, pulls it back down again. I'm like, it's so, as you said, Tyson, it's so fluid. And it's like, it's not awkward or janky or anything like that. It just looks satisfying and it sounds satisfying. And it's like so meaty. Centipedes eating cheese. Oh, God. Stop talking about eating insects.
So now I'm just thinking crunchy cheese.
No!
My sister didn't catch on to the fact of what RWBY's upgrade was at first.
What?
She was like, I was like, yeah, she like cocked Crescent Rose, and then I was like, what do you mean? Like, it's not a shotgun now. Like, the blade turned around, and she was
how
like,
did she miss that?
oh, I guess it did. And I was like, yeah, what do you mean? Like,
I guess it did. Bitch, were you paying attention? So sound design really, really stellar in this chapter. Yeah, especially that one moment because it's like so meaty sounding. I like how meaty Crescent Rose sounds. Like they've changed the sound of when it fires as well. It's a lot meatier.
Night magic.
Night magic. It sounds like a high velocity sniper rifle now, which it has always lacked that a little bit. It sounded like a shotgun when the show started. It was literally the shotgun sound from Halo. And it's progressed into more like it sounds like a sniper rifle now. So,
Ew, let's emotes.
Taking these emotes with me. Rude. I love Marrow's semblance. I love the irony of his semblance where he's just like, stay. And it just sort of, I don't really know fully how it works, whether it's like mind control or time dilation or like what, but.
Stasis, like
something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Is it like?
I also like how his weapon's called Fetch.
Yeah,
I like that it's called Fetch as well.
Cool. I love that he's like, fully going on board with the ironic racism. It's good. But
I'm not here to solve systemic societal issues. Let's go.
Yeah. Fuck this. Fuck humans.
I quite
Let's
like
go.
Marrow.
Yeah,
I like him too.
I love his semblance. His semblance is super cool. And I like the way he executes it as well. Can you teach Max to stay? He stays when he wants to stay.
Yeah, it depends how excited he is.
I'm wondering if it's like a sort of like centralized time dilation where it's like it has an area of effect.
Yeah, because it did seem to slow. Like, the way that it moved, it, like, started to slow down.
Yeah.
So that's why I was, like, that's why I was kind of leaning a bit towards time dilation in some way, because just of that. And it didn't seem to be, like, trying to twitch or anything, so I was like, I don't know. I hope we get to, like...
slowed to a standstill, so...
Yeah. I hope we get to see more of this, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was cool.
Vine... Whatever that is, weapon semblance, that's super creepy, and I don't
like it.
Yeah, I know that they listed that the name of his weapon is like Thorn.
Yeah, something.
But
like
his
that.
weapon's on his back.
Is it?
Yes.
So it's not his weapon; it's his semblance.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
See, I
he has
thought
like
so
a round
because
weapon on his back, which he didn't even use.
Oh.
Why have
Yeah. See, I thought. I mean, true.
Let's say
I was really thinking that because everybody thought that the hands were his weapon, and I'm like, I don't see how that works. Like, it must be his semblance, especially because it's also so similar to Elm's semblance.
Yes.
That I was like, it must be his semblance. But I'm also like, but then where's his weapon? I didn't see it on his back.
Yeah, he has something on his back.
See, I just look at him and think Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah, it is. It's the same. Yeah.
First time I say it, I'm like, oh my god.
But Elm's is interesting. So I think Vine and Elm have kind of a similar sort of semblance, except hers, is like a grounding one, and his is like a sketchy one.
Yeah. Well, it makes sense, especially if they are because people think that they're like from the Aesop fable, like the vine and the elm or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's and it makes sense because like the vine is the like ever growing thing, but the elm is the non-moving, but the the firm in place thing.
Yeah.
Which it kind of seems to fit with them as well, because they talk about in the things they released with Vine, like self-improvement is the highest pursuit. It's like wanting to constantly evolve, constantly grow. Mm-hmm. Whereas Elm kind of seems like, I'm good, I'm just gonna stay here and be me, kind of a thing.
Exactly. The loud and strong one.
Yes, exactly. I like that Vine, he's like, he's like, contact, and he like stops, and then Elm stops, and the other three are just like, vroom, go straight past. Let's just go kill them. These two feel like they have a more careful and considered approach, and Team Junior are just like, fuck it, let's just go in head first. That's how we do. Good night, SheNoob.
Night, SheNoob.
Ren's weapon upgrade is super cool. I love that the blades like shoot out and they've got like wires on them. That's really clever. Jean using his shield there to sort of like, it reminds me of Grim Eclipse, because that's like kind of what he does in Grim in the game Grim Eclipse, is he like slams his shield and it sends Grim flying. So it's the same sort of thing. Ren has literal ninja rope now. Yes, he does. This was another satisfying sound design moment in the episode, because it was like this whole sort of section here where like Elm stops and the three of them go speeding past and you hear Nora laughing her head off. Classic Nora. But especially the moment when Nora comes in and she like smacks the two Grim with her hammer, and just like the perfect placement of the sound effects and the efforts, and that's really satisfying to listen to.
Wow.
The sound design.
I also just really liked seeing how, like, she's always had that kind of little, like, pointy bit on the back of Magenhild, but we've never really seen her use that. But I like to see that, like, she hit the one with the blunt end and then fired it to hit,
and then
to, like,
the velocity
stab the
took
other
it
one
into the other one.
Yeah.
And I was
really
like,
cool.
yes, that's
and
awesome.
She just
another
looked
one of those...
so casual while doing it too.
I was going to say, it was another one of those moments, a bit like with RWBY with Crescent Rose. It was it was fluid. Like it didn't feel unnatural.
I like watching them use the idea of like firing the weapon and using the velocity to hit something, and like that since the beginning they've always had that sort of idea with the weapons, and they lost it somewhere in the middle there, and they're getting it back now. So it's really nice. That
was like honestly the core idea behind RWBY. Was
using the velocity of the weapon, against the enemy.
I also like this was the shot from the trailer too that we saw very briefly in the trailer of Nora and Ren in their outfits.
Look, while you go make breakfast, no worries, Reach.
And like Elm gives them the thumbs up as they walk past as well. I thought that was really cool.
A very
I just love how they're all like, we're tough
approach. And they're like, that's just us.
And then they all walk by and then they're like,
they just take a deep
breath. Team Junior have always sort of gone headfirst into a fight, and it's either going to go badly or it's going to go fine, and then they're always like, oh, thank God that went to plan, even though there wasn't a plan.
That's one thing I hope the Aesops will teach them, is maybe like slow down a bit, think it out. Because, like, they are always kind of like, grim, yeehaw!
You say that, but, like, when they saw the guys with, like, and Ruby standing there going, how are we supposed to, and then Aesop's just rushed in and started killing it. And she was like still trying to be like, how are we going to do this? And they're just like, let's just do it.
I like how both Marrow and Harriet are actually stretching too, as the Grim is like,
they're getting ready. They're like, let's just stretch the extremities.
Stretches.
Yeah.
As this Marrow's like,
this is not their first rodeo. They've clearly done this before. So, yeah, they were ready to go. They're like, let's get in there. Whereas the kids are like, it's just standing there.
I mean, that thing is fucking huge.
It's huge.
It is massive. Yeah.
I mean, it's actually, I think it might actually be smaller than the Geist they fought in Volume 4. But
I think it is.
That was a more open environment. There wasn't the danger element of the dust there either. So
and the dust cabinet was so cool. I loved all the colours and it was the effects it was having.
The saturation of it, it's really nice.
It was really cool.
Everything in the cave was really oversaturated and it looked really nice. I've got here.
I also just loved how, like, because they said that the cave was like dust charged, that it's like Ren kicked up that little bit of dust and it kind of floated a bit, but then Jean was sweating and it just instantly evaporated, and it's like, all of this dust is like interacting in the air, and like
it's hot from the fire dust, but then there's also the element of the gravity dust making the gravity in the room kind of strange. So it's like the dust that Ren kicks up just sort of floats there instead of, dissipating right away. So it's all the dust, the contrasting dust energies creating this really strange environment. And you don't really think about the sort of physical effect that dust has on its environment, because we've never seen a dust mine like this before. So
actually dust in the environment like this.
Yeah, exactly.
I would have loved to see, though, because like they said they need to be careful, but I was like, and it must not be the case, because we see like Harriet using her weapons in the fight, which has some sort of electric properties to it, which must be electric dust. But I was like, how would like Nora have worked in this fight? Because she fires dust rounds. Like, would that have just set the cave off? Like, what about Yang or Ruby?
Set the cave off.
It's
like the cave is like mad. Bitch!
Kaboom!
Kaboom! Yeah, exactly. But I go here. I wonder what Nora's upgrade is. I'm sure we'll see it at some point. We also haven't seen Blake's or Weiss's yet. So, those are two things to look forward to later in the volume.
The cave is triggered.
Clover's weapon. Can we talk about Clover's weapon for a second? His fishing
useless.
hook. It's completely useless.
Oh my god! I was going to bring it up.
It's so useless.
The moment I seen it, I said to Danny before I got ready for the podcast, I was going, I don't know what they're going to think about it, but I fucking hate that weapon.
It's useless.
It is such a stupid idea. When he first got it out, I'm like, is he seriously got a fishing line?
Well, he's meant to be the good fisherman.
He's the lucky fisherman,
Oh, lucky fisherman, sorry.
His weapon isn't so much a weapon as it's more of a tool. But apart from pulling the guy's face out of the thing, it was completely useless.
Well, like, that moment where he's like, oh, we see, contact, we got the Grim, and he goes, whoosh, and it misses. I was like,
it's just falls on the ground, and I'm like, dude, you're clearly not compensating for something with that weapon, because that's shit.
If they're going for like the fisherman theme, there's so many other fisherman things they could have picked.
I'm hoping that there's more to it than we've seen.
Yeah, I'm hoping maybe it's a net gun.
Else.
She might also have a gun.
Please tell me there's something else to it, or like I just want to see him just beat the shit out of some Grim with it, or something, like just whack them with it. Because as so far as we've seen it, I'm like, it's useful for a tool, but for a weapon, it's just terrible. Like,
he literally would have been better off with a grappling hook than a fish.
Yeah, exactly. We've seen him use it like 3 times, and he's used it to like pull the Grim out of the Geist out of the rocks, and then to swing around with it. And it's like it seems more useful to swing around with than to like
kill anything at all.
Fight.
Yeah, I feel like he probably relies on his luck a lot when in a combat situation. And he definitely couldn't have pulled off that move with pulling the Geist out unless he was, lucky. So
Yeah, he sort of like touched his pin as well.
Yeah, his.
Made me wonder if he was purposely activating his semblance as well.
I don't know so much if he activates it as it's more like crows, where it's just like kind of always there.
I got a feeling that maybe he does.
I feel like maybe that's just like a superstitious sort of thing.
There's got to be some. I agree with Larissa in that they made a big point of him touching that.
Yeah, they did.
I'm wondering,
and even Cory said he's sometimes not able to control his semblance. Things just happen. But with Clover, good things happen with his semblance. So it makes sense to me that he's able to activate it when he needs that good luck. Well, with Crow, he doesn't want to activate it because the bad luck is not good.
Yeah, I was going to say.
He's trying to suppress it, while Clover maybe is trying to more activate it so it actually helps him in the situation.
Yeah, for Crow, his bad luck is actually useful in a fight if there's nobody else
the way.
Yeah, like that's why
for
Team Ranger at the time, he was like, "Don't get closer, because like my bad luck's gonna backfire on you." But he was able to use it against Tyrion. But in this situation, Clover almost gets crushed by his bad luck. But then Clover manages to turn that into good luck. So
yeah.
I just noticed that Chozo was saying about the net projectile being a great idea. For me, it just sounds like a Wile E. Coyote kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, I'm like, even then it's like, ooh, maybe it's like an electrified net, but it's like, even then it's like, ooh, Zappy
like,
Grim.
Yeah.
Like just walking up to someone like Tyrion and just shooting a net at him. I got you. You know, like.
It's even like John said, I can't believe we got bit by a guy with a fishing pole.
Yeah.
Too. Yeah.
Yeah. Did I seriously write that? I've got in my notes, good luck, bad luck, please fuck.
In my notes, I was writing down, I was getting like the template written out for my notes. And so I was like going through and I was writing for each of the characters, like the upgrades that we knew about for their weapons. And I got to Crow and I just went, a new boyfriend.
+1 boyfriend. I wonder if Crow, got any upgrades done on his weapon, because that thing is old AF, and like it still has a manual release mechanism, like with actual turning cogs and shit. So I'm like, it's super old fashioned. Bitch needs an upgrade.
Welcome back, Breach.
Welcome back. In a team, not everyone needs an offensive weapon. True, but
Marrow seemed to have the most useful weapon out of all of them.
He did,
but forget even it with like, say if Jean didn't have a sword and just had a shield. The shield's useful. This is a fishing line.
It's literally
I can't, unless he's like Kaylee said, unless he's going to beat them up with the rod bit.
Like Oscar does with the cane.
Yeah.
Like, at least he whacks a Grim and it dies, you know. But like,
yeah.
Clover, I can't see him beating anything to death with that.
Well, we saw him win that one scene right before when like the Petragigas first formed. That like he was sitting there and he was like swinging it around, and it was like, what is this doing?
You're literally doing nothing right now. You're doing nothing useful. But yeah, I mean, I hope there's more to that weapon than what we've seen, because it's pretty damn shit. So
yeah.
I feel so relieved that you guys thought the same thing.
I mean, obviously it's terrible.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ace Ops is pretty awesome as far as a Huntsman team goes. It's interesting that they're a team of 5, because typically you have a team of 4. But yeah, they work so well together. Obviously they've done this many times before. They're a well-oiled machine. And like we've seen Team Ruby and Team Juniper work really well together before. But this is another level of like, these guys are pros. They know how to work well together without saying shit to each other. And it's like, they've done this before, clearly. They know exactly what they're doing. I love the moment where like Clover catches the gravity dust and chucks it to Cory, and then he like salutes and leaps off. I'm like, you are far too cool. I'm like,
he leaps backwards too.
Like Cory has always been the cool one, but I'm like, Clover outcools you. I'm sorry.
I know. I'm seriously like, I'm like, Crow, if you aren't in love with him already, like, that was so
He's
suave.
so graceful. That was so smooth. I'm like, Jesus, you are the smoothest motherfucker. The only thing that he lacks in cool is that his weapon's a piece of crap. Whereas Crow has a really cool fucking weapon. But, like, no, it was just too smooth. I was like, God damn, boy. I love the editing throughout this fight with, like, the cut-ins of Team RWBY being like, oh my god, like, just swooning over Aesop's, and then the cut-ins of their eyes as well.
Yeah, as he Clover was pulling
when
the
Clover
dice,
pulls the guy's face out,
Yeah.
that was really, I love the editing. Every time I see that, it's like a callback to Volume 2, when they did all that fancy editing in chapter, what was it, 10, 9, something like that. Teens of 4 in college after graduation, we haven't seen many teens. Yeah, there's been duos and lots of lone huntsmen and like, but these guys is a team of 5. Yeah, but they seems to work really well. Yeah, I love watching the Team RWBY react to everything that was going on. I love the sound design and the way they timed everything to the music was so perfect. With like, they pulled the guy's face out and then hair jumps up and punches the guy, so it was perfectly timed to the score. And like,
it's gonna be awesome to do a score fight video for this one, actually.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have a fucking field day with this one. I can't wait to do this one. It's gonna be so much fun. I can't wait to do this one. But I also love the sound design in the bit where like Clover calls out to Harriet, and she like, this is an incredible looking shot as well when she charges around the falling Geist and like heading for the gravity dust, and you can see she's not going to make it. But like, this is an incredible looking and sounding shot. And then RWBY coming in with her semblance and like catching it, and her little giggle that she does is so adorable.
Oh, the little giggle.
So adorable.
I love
so
that.
cute.
I love reading this episode. Like, the giggle, like when she jumped out of the ship, the her little your semblance like mine little dance as well with Harry, and then that giggle at the end when she got the dust crystal. I was like, RWBY,
she is having the time of her life. She's just like,
I mean, she's always loved huntsmen and huntresses, so like this would obviously be, she's like, I get to see you guys in action.
This is what she's always wanted to be, and now she's on a mission with a team of pro huntsmen. Hey Heather, spoilers, get out. Mute it quickly. But yeah, she's having the time of her life, and she's like, this is what she's always wanted to be, and now she's on a mission with a team of pro huntsmen, and she's just loving it, and just like, her little giggle just proves that she's having so much fun. She's like, this is just so great. But what Hare says to her about her semblance being like, there's more going on than you think there is, obviously. Because not every other person with a speed semblance can fucking teleport around shit.
And turn into
I mean, but we've never seen another person with a speed semblance, though. So it's like...
But, like, I've always thought that wasn't it, that there was more to it than that. Oh, yeah, Oobleck's got one.
Oobleck and Neon. Yeah.
Neon. Yeah, Neon's got one, too. That's a good point.
Oh,
Hey, Grey Wolf.
True.
But like,
Grey Wolf. Bye.
Bye, Heather.
Bye, Heather.
Bye, leave, goodbye. But yeah, the fact that she can like teleport and split herself up, and like, the way that she uses her semblance, I'm like, it's not just speed. There's more to it than that.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like how RWBY's so innocent. She's like, it is.
It is like. Okay.
And Yang's comment, wait till you see what she can do with her eyes.
I was going to say, I love that.
Yeah, wait till she sees what she can do with her eyes.
But that's another thing where I'm like, keep it on lock. Like, although with the silver eyes thing, I am more like, well, maybe that's the secret they can tell. But like,
I think they will be able to tell with that one. But
RWBY will have to use it at some stage.
Yeah.
They'll probably get themselves into some serious shit, and she'll have to use it. But it's her nuke. It's her get out of jail free card. Is that one? I mean, she managed to petrify the Goliath. Not the Goliath, the Leviathan. That's the one.
Leviathan.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure at this point she can manage. She can do pretty much anything at this point. She can manage that. She didn't kill it, but still, it was huge.
Yeah.
I mean, she did with the Wyvern, and as far as we know, the Wyvern is still frozen there.
Yeah. I don't know if it's.
Well, granted, she was I don't think it's dead though, but I mean it's at least frozen there. But
Apparently, it's still
also then
attracting
again, that
the
was a
Prim, so
yeah.
Yes.
But then also like with that one, it was like she used it and then was asleep for like 3 weeks.
Yeah, she passed out.
I don't know if it was 3 weeks. It might have been a few days, but
It's a period of time. Yeah.
It was some time. Yes. Yeah, I love when Clover's like talking to Mission Control and they're all like dancing in the background and Ruby's like, we win. I'm like, you guys did nothing. They're like celebrating. I'm like, Ace Ops did all of the work. I love that Elm's holding her on her shoulder. Yeah, that's really cute.
Yeah, and Yang's like doing punches in the background and Nora's like dancing and then just like Blake, Wise and Ren are just standing there.
They're just standing there like, ugh. They're just used to it at this point.
Yeah.
So, final scene. RWBY is officially dead. Sorry, Forrest.
RWBY is dead. So sad.
Yeah, poor Forrest. Run, Forrest, run. I like in this scene that when Tyrion does pop up, it scares the shit out of the viewer. But then it takes a second for Forrest to actually react. I like that he doesn't react on the like bad loud noise. He doesn't react until he gets like close enough to sort of sense that he's there. Yeah, so it's a bit more realistic because, obviously the character isn't hearing the loud noise. We are. So, yeah, I like this scene that, like, he's like, who are you? And then he's, like, looking at his fist and he's, like, clenching his fist, getting ready for, like, a fight. And I'm like, you're fucked. I think
that.
he knows that, he's obviously
you're
really
Tyrion's
scared.
breakfast.
Yeah, you're literally
And
Tyrion's
he's
breakfast
really
right
scared when he actually sees Tyrion
He's
more
really
close
scared.
up front and sees his tail.
Tyrion is so creepy, and I love it. And they actually brightened up the purple in his eyes as well. It was a lot darker the last time we saw it in Volume 4. So they've made it a lot more luminescent now. And matches the sort of purple that's in his tail as well. But yeah, bye Forrest. It was nice knowing you.
Bye.
So sad.
Yeah, so sad. That guy did such a great job voicing him too that I'm like, oh, what a waste of potential. But
maybe you can voice another character.
I wasn't expecting him to see him here, even honestly.
Yeah.
Like I thought,
It reminds me of
first
Shady
saw him.
Man.
Yeah,
We saw
Yeah,
Shady
exactly.
Man for such a brief period as well.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't
Yeah.
die though. He's still out there somewhere.
Don't
Yeah,
know
Shady-
exactly.
Well,
but, yeah.
I mean,
It might
Cinder might have killed him.
Oh, maybe. Maybe.
Yeah.
F for the F in RWBY. Yeah. Oh, God. Okay, that's all I had written on my notes. Is there anything we didn't touch on, or I don't know? We pretty much covered
I don't know.
most of it. But...
I liked how Clover said, like, no, Cray said it was good catch, referring to RWBY, and Clover's
Lucky
like, I chalked
catch,
that one up
yeah.
to talent.
Lucky catch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I a couple things I had was I loved the like how we like physically saw the effects of Harriet's semblance
Yeah.
when she was running.
Yeah,
Where it
the
was like
sort
you
of,
could see that it was slow
leftover
and
frames, yeah.
Yeah.
and then it, like there was that as
you
well.
could
I was like,
see
this was so
how
cool.
fast she was. It really reminded me of what's his name from the Marvel universe?
Oh,
God.
I was gonna say the Flash, but you're
No.
thinking Quicksilver.
What's his name? Quicksilver.
Quicksilver.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It really reminded me of that, but in the X-Men movie that Quicksilver was in.
Yeah.
Where like
Yeah.
everything
yeah.
was slowed and he was like running around like moving bullets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It reminded me of
Yeah.
that. But like the after effects of her running and like you can see how much time slows as she's running. And then as soon as she stops using it, it speeds back up. Quicksilver, thank you, Reach. So I really like the way that they did that, and I'm like, God, this must have been a pain to fucking animate. Jesus Christ.
And I like how her eyes light up as well in the cave when she's really just like activating
The
her
Energizer
semblance.
Bunny.
Yes.
Yeah.
All those
She
memes.
is exactly like the Energizer Bunny, yes.
Yes.
But I'm like looking at it like, oh, this must have been a pain to animate because the environment is in slow motion, which is like 3, 4, 5 times as many frames to animate, but then she's in normal 24 frames, but she has those after effects, so it's like It's so much animation. I'm looking at it going, oh my god, what a nightmare. And they showed it like 3 times. And I'm like, this must have taken forever.
It's so worth it, though.
It looks so good. It looks so good. Yeah.
It must have been really satisfying for them to put all that together and then go, you know what? It fucking worked.
Yeah. This is one of my favorite, like, these fights are one of my favorite fight scenes in the entire show. Like, yeah. Absolutely amazing animation.
Definitely up there.
Oh yeah, for sure, definitely up there. Especially for group fights as well, because I feel like they have a rough time nailing the group fights sometimes. But they did a really good job with the dynamics and like with all of the fights.
By Reach.
Yeah, really, really awesome job. Definitely, this chapter was crazy. One of my favorite chapters of the whole show. Definitely up there. So
easily like top 3.
I would say top 3. Yeah.
I just liked just a lot of the character moments that we had in it, as well as just the fight scenes and everything. It was just so good.
It was paced beautifully. There wasn't a minute that was wasted on anything. And just it just looked gorgeous, felt gorgeous, sounded gorgeous. And the animation was incredible, and like I love seeing everybody in their new get-ups, and the lighting was beautiful as well, and like the it was such a gorgeous chapter. I'm really proud of RWBY of what they've managed to accomplish with this one. And now the new female writer, whose name I've forgotten again, Kissy. She was tweeting earlier this week that she's very excited for Saturday and nobody's ready for chapter 4. And I was like, can you please stop? She tweeted that on like Tuesday. And I was like, there are 5 days left. How dare you?
The thing I thought that was so weird is I watched the episode as soon as it came out, episode 3, on Saturday. Watched it right away. Went on Twitter afterwards to be like, oh my god, that was amazing. And I already saw people posting like the thumbnail for chapter 4 is already up in the description and everything. Yeah. And I was like, this is literally 7 days in advance.
Literally an hour after the episode was up, they posted the thumbnail description and title for next week.
Yeah.
It just wasn't shows how, even that much. I don't even think it was that much. How on time
they are this volume. Yeah.
I'm like, why did they do that though? That's so early.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was...
It's hype though. That's what they're wanting to do.
Yeah. That's something the problem that they need to do. I was like,
my hype for the episode died a bit because I knew it instantly. So I was still like riding the hype of the end of the episode, and then I get to see like the thumbnail and everything for the next episode, and I'm like, yeah. But now it's like it's 6 days later, and I'm like, I mean, I'm excited for it, but like, it's not like when they would reveal it like 2 days beforehand, where it's like, ooh, getting excited for the next episode again. Like,
the White Rose shippers are going crazy right now too.
I know they are. They're dying.
Yeah,
that's what I was going to mention too, because the thumbnail for chapter 3 was originally that shot of RWBY.
And then it changed to the Aesops,
to be the Aesops. So
I think they did that because the new thumbnail fits better with the title. So because the title was Ace Operatives, and then it was RWBY in the thumbnail. Didn't really make a lot of sense. So
and also
the only issue with the newer one is it's a very busy thumbnail for an episode. Their thumbnails aren't usually very busy, and this one it's like, ooh, there's a lot happening in this one.
That's really the only shot of the Aesops they could have had without spoiling anything, though. That's the thing. So literally any other shot, major spoilers. So
it's like when I was trying to make the thumbnail for my reaction. It's like, okay, where am I putting things? Because this
you were like, where the fuck do I put anything?
I just decided
I was like, cover someone's face.
That was me with the Boopcast thumbnail this week, because I had both of your pictures to put in and text down the bottom. And I was like, where am I putting the logo? Where am I putting the chapter? Like, there's too much shit going on. There's too much on the screen. I want to see the beautiful girls. But making thumbnails is hard. So chapter 4 is tomorrow. Predictions.
Yes.
What's going to happen?
Chapter 4 is in 3.5 hours.
Yeah, it is.
I'm expecting we're going to see some Jax and Whitley.
Ooh, interesting.
Because we haven't seen them yet. And they were in the intro, and they're going to have an important part to play. And what's the title? Is Pomp and... What's it called?
Pomp and Circumstance?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Something like that. So it sort of made me think of Jax and Whitley. I still think we're going to get we might just get them at the end or something, but I think we're definitely going to see them this episode.
Yeah, I think we're going to meet Robin too. Like that's why it kind of makes sense that especially because it's Robin versus Jacques for the Mantle Council role thing.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, so that's why I'm like, it makes sense to introduce them in the same episode.
Yeah.
Look at the election watch party or whatever it was called as well.
Yeah.
That's going to probably be in the later part of the volume, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And shit's probably going to go down in that.
Oh yeah.
I think Jacques is going to rig the election, but
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
I think
Dawn thinks
that going to help him.
Definitely. Okay.
Well, Dawn thinks that that Watts is going to have a part in that, and maybe rig it for Jax to
I mean, I could see that because I mean, the only problem is I don't see why Salem's faction would work with Jacques. Because the one thing Jacques wants to end is the embargo, which granted, I guess Salem means if they can start getting dust to other places again, it's easier for them to get their hands on dust.
Mm.
But at the same time, I'm but that also means that opening up trade with the world again and kind of reestablishing connection with Vacuo, which is the last thing that Salem wants.
Mm.
But then again, I guess also Robin also wants to end the embargo, but that's because the embargo is hurting Mantle. So I guess maybe it is they can buy Jacques' loyalty, but they can't buy Robin's maybe.
Yeah.
And that's what we're down to.
Mm.
I don't know.
But it's also interesting because Tyrion did kill Forrest, and Forrest was a supporter of Robin, so...
Yeah. I'm wondering if he did
Robin,
actually kill him, though.
He told.
I think he did.
Yeah, but why? That's the question.
Well, he said he was stirring up trouble, so, killing probably a really big vocal supporter of Robin, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And
what
I mean, it's also
Forrest that we knew.
It's right after the Atlas military dropped him off. Maybe he's trying to frame it as the Atlas military killed him. And dropped his body off there or something, trying to send a message. And or maybe at least that's how they're hoping Robin will interpret it as, as more of a political move and less of Tyrion just being I love killing people.
I mean, that's just Tyrion though. Any opportunity he gets to just kill people for no reason.
Yeah, hopefully we'll find out in this chapter. And Trazo says Pomp is vain and ostentatious.
Ostentatious, Larissa.
Thank you. Ostentatious display is likely to be some formal occasion.
Yeah, pomp in circumstance is a phrase. It just means an ostentatious sort of event.
I don't think we're gonna get the Atlas ball. Maybe we'll if they're gonna do that. Maybe
about
we'll
this Atlas ball. I'm it's not gonna happen.
The election watch party at the least.
Yeah,
that's definitely confirmed.
But we see that in the thumbnail, it actually shows with RWBY and Weiss talking. You can see that they're actually talking just outside of the mines. That they're still at that SheNoob company mines because you see the B11 in the background, which when they're entering the mines, you can see one of the buildings is marked B11 or something like that.
Okay.
So people are pointed out that this conversation that they're gonna have is still at the mines.
Right. Yeah.
That's why I'm I don't think we're getting the Atlas ball or anything like that. Maybe we'll hear about an event, but it is early.
I googled the actual definition of pomp and circumstance, and it literally it describes a ceremony of grandeur, very formal celebration.
Yeah. Maybe the celebrating the mission being successful or something.
It's hard to say.
Not sure.
It seems an odd choice of wording for something to celebrate, a mission. It seems more. Seems more formal.
I think it's going to relate to several events throughout the chapter rather than one.
Maybe there'll be. I just thought of something. Maybe the official becoming huntress and huntsman ceremony.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
Oh, that's in it. Yeah.
And I just thought of that maybe.
Like this was like an initiation sort of thing, maybe.
Yeah, as a result of a successful mission, yeah.
Yeah, they're getting their huntsmen and huntresses licenses, maybe.
I almost said that at the start, where I was like, if they did get their license, I'm like disappointed they didn't make a moment of it. Yeah. Like this is big for our characters.
This is a huge deal. It's a huge deal for them. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not really students anymore, you know.
No, the actual huntsmen and huntresses, which is what they wanted to be. So, it just popped in my head when we were talking about formal occasions.
That is a good thought. Yes. Yeah.
Maybe
I hope so. Yeah.
Which ties in
which
ties in with what Cory's seen on those screens of it being them active or whatever you said. That was like a
status active. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that could have been like a probationary, like, all right, if this mission goes all right,
well, I mean, technically they have to have an active license in order to go into the field and kill Grimm.
Yeah, so that was what they were arrested on, was they were unlicensed huntsmen.
Use of weapons by unlicensed huntsmen. Yeah.
Yeah. So it could just be maybe they were given like temporary, like, you know, like a something, but maybe who knows that they will actually be given them.
A field pass.
A day pass.
Yeah. It's a whole pass.
I don't. My thought on the whole like formal occasion thing though was like maybe it's like a fundraiser party like we saw back in Volume 4, except it's like fundraising for like, you know, the political campaign, and maybe that's how we'll see both Jacques and Robin in the same thing.
Yeah,
is like they're like mingling with the people that, you know, with high up people or something.
Well, did anyone see, I think this was in the background of Volume 2, and I think it was Arnold that tweeted it, that board of things, and he was trying to work out what that said, and it was like hashtag...
Oh, in Chapter 2? Yeah.
It was in Chapter 2.
Yeah,
Fit for Atlas. Or Fit for Atlas, and a few people said...
Fit for Atlas, it looked like,
Yeah, but a few people said, is it funds or something? So it could be something to do with that. It could be a fundraising thing that's coming up, Yeah.
It's like a fun run. Fit for Atlas.
Fun run.
I mean, if it was like a more physical thing, that would make sense why Robin would be there, because she's a huntress. She'd want to be like, yeah, let's run to raise money for the campaign, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm just excited because it seems like this next episode's going to be very like character focused, which a lot of people wanted for episode 3 with them like changing outfits, which, you know, we didn't get to see that, but at least maybe this way we still get to see some like good character interactions and having them talk to each other. Like I know a lot of people don't like when the characters like just sit down and talk to each other, but I love it. I don't know why people don't.
It's how they handle it though. That's the thing.
Yeah,
that's true.
There have been some really bad chapters because there's too much of people talking to each other. But
well, that's if it's exposition. I don't want exposition. I just want to see them like having conversations and
being friends.
Yeah, not that one. But
not
the
that
one with no, I forgot
anything
what
but
chapter
that
number
one.
it was. But when they were reunited, Weiss and Yang were reunited with Ruby, and Nora, Ren, and John, and they had that big dinner. Yeah, had the dinner, and they had the arm wrestling and not talking about all sorts of things. So
one of my favorite
that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I love that one.
Yeah.
Chaser said that the board things that we will also be showing the results for the something competition. Congratulations to those that participated for all your hard work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a number of things it could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be anything. We'll find out at some point, I suppose. But
yeah. I mean, we'll find out in about 4 hours' time.
Well, not me.
Watching
in the morning.
I will.
I'll be watching it tonight. I mean, it's only 2 p.m. So.
Fuck you, rude. Very rude. We have to sleep.
Yeah. I can't record a reaction at 3 a.m. in the morning.
No, we have neighbours.
Fun's like Atlas doesn't seem to fit with an Atlas Academy event. Yeah. That's why maybe it's fit for Atlas or something. I don't know.
Oh, that just reminded me. I'm annoyed we didn't find out about the dorms this episode because we still got that unanswered question.
I think that I think it was teen because Ruby appeared to be like they all appeared to be in their own room.
Yeah, they seemed to have their own room.
Because like
that's true.
like when we saw RWBY in her room, it looked like it was a small room that was just for her.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Dawn seemed to be on his own, as was like.
I heard her say teen. The subtitles say teen. Kim said team, but she doesn't work on RWBY anymore, so shush. But it's teen, definitely, because they did look like they're in their own rooms. That's very true.
Yeah, it seemed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember in my reaction, I said that I was like, when we saw that RWBY scene, I was like, oh, it must have been teen.
Yes.
Because the rooms looked too small and they looked like they were all on their own.
Yeah,
so yeah. I think that we did get an answer to that. It's just not directly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, who knows? Maybe we'll see him again and actually see it more clearly.
It was very briefly seeing the room, and the focus was more on what the characters were doing, not the room itself. So yeah.
Okay. On that vein, we should wrap this shit up. So, chapter 4 tomorrow. I'm excited. I can't wait. But yeah, thank you guys for joining us, and Larissa at the last minute joining us.
Yeah. I'm a bit surprised we got through this all in 2.5 hours.
It's fucking
2.5 hours.
We're not allowed to talk about that.
You're lucky it's Saturday, you bitch. But yeah, we will be back next week, and next week we have a time change again. It will be at 6 a.m. my time next week, because I work.
So 3 hours.
I work next Saturday, so at 9 a.m. So we're gonna do it at 6 a.m. before I go to work, and I'm gonna come home and go to bed at 4 p.m. Because I'll be too tired.
But that time is 3 hours earlier than our usual time. For
3 hours earlier than usual.
Don't know the conversion.
Yeah.
Shay says this late minute
Larissa
is in your nickname.
Who's our guests next week? I forgot. Oh, it's Liam and Alex next week. Torchwood Boy and Liam Caddison are on next week, chatting about.
Yes,
Are they?
That'll be
They
good.
were the one after.
No, it's next week, boy.
I watched Alex's reactions
you're right.
to chapter 1 and 2 today.
Oh, I was getting episode 4 and 5 mixed up. Okay. Yeah, you're right. It is Liam and Alex.
Yeah, Liam and Alex. We're having them on together this year because we needed to fit everybody in. So
watch it later.
Yeah, we're excited to have those boys both back on this year. They were separate last year, but they'll be together this year, so that should be nice and chaotic. But yeah,
they would have been a good episode to have them on this week, actually.
I think it would have.
I mean,
they would have been just as freaked out as all of us
are.
I
can't wait to watch Alex's reaction.
I know.
There's going to be plenty of gay to go around this year. It's fine.
Yeah. But hopefully we get some more in chapter 4.
I've always wanted to see Atlas, and now we're in Atlas. I'm like, I'm so glad Atlas is just so gay.
It is.
So far.
It's been very bright and positive so far, and very rainbow, so I'm like, the other shoe's going to drop at some point.
I'm literally like, Aesops are going to turn on us, and I don't even care. I will love them right now.
I will be so mad if they turn. I don't want them to, because then that will kill my bad luck charms dreams dead. And I'm like,
I'm really liking them.
I know. But I'm like, that's why I don't trust it. So I don't trust it, because I'm like, I like them.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm starting to like them. This is bad.
Yeah. I don't want to think about it. Anyways, let's wrap this up. All right, yeah. So we'll be back next week at stupid hour in the morning. At my time.
I mean, it'll be noon for me. It'll be nice.
Oh, fuck you.
Yeah, Cory, it really is.
I have to go to work afterwards. That's just rude. So yeah, we'll be doing about 6 to 8 a.m. next week. So yeah, that's really fun.
You have to run out.
We'll have to stick to that a little more. We will be a little bit more time constrained with like, we gotta get to work.
I love that I work Saturdays. That's really great.
You're the one who opted to work these extra ones too.
Because I get paid twice as much. It's worth it.
Like during RWBY season though, is it really? I'm gonna take that screenshot of you saying that it was worth it and wait until next week when you're like, I'm dying.
I'm dying, but I'll just deal with it. Well, somebody has very expensive flights to get here in April, so fuck you, it's your fault. Listen, I gotta make that money. Anyways, Yeah. So thanks everyone for watching. If you are watching this on YouTube, we do live stream these 24 hours before they go up on YouTube on my Twitch. So be sure to follow my Twitch, twitch.tv/she_noob. And go check these guys out. All of their linkies will be in the description. Not you, Cory. No one cares about you.
My links should be there too. How dare you?
I'll follow you, Cory. It's okay.
Thank you, Tyson.
You have one friend. Congratulations. All right, these gays are gonna go to sleep. Good night.
Bye.